What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, man?
Man, we just laughing, having a good time. You know how we do.
Are, yeah.
This is what we do nowadays, man. We come in here, we get off topic about whatever it is before we turn these mics on, and we just go down a rabbit hole of just laughing and, you know, having these sometimes in-depth, sometimes not so in-depth conversations, man, but they're always good.
I'm loving life, bro. I'm loving life. That was a fun conversation in light of the situation and everything that's going on, because this weekend I've been depressed. It's sucked, man. It really has. There's just really not much to do. And then where's the hope at now with the new, what is it, mandate or guideline?
April 30th now in terms of the lockdown, stay home, whatever you want to call it situation. President Trump had just implemented that. And it's crazy too, man. We talked about it a little bit in terms of you'll see one positive message. Oh, all the Utah Jazz players have been cleared. And we're like, oh, all right, this is good. Remember, we were shooting the text back and forth. And then not even 5 minutes later, Doris Burke just confirmed that she has coronavirus. We're like, God dang, man, like this is crazy. Or then it's, oh, these players, Marcus Smart, he's clear. Oh, but now that guy has it. And you're like, man, or not, Marcus Smart is cleared. And then it's the New York Knicks owner. He has it. I'm like, God, dog, like, this is crazy. So every time you think you're taking a step forward, I feel like you take another step backwards, man. So that's the frustrating part with it. I do think that now that everybody has started to taking it a little bit more serious, hopefully we'll be getting through this a lot sooner than later. Because I feel like the initial part of it, I mean, we talked about it on the mic a little bit, how you get some people that believed it, some people that didn't believe it. Some people say, oh, it was government propaganda.
I mean,
but no, seriously. And then we said, okay, when we go down that route of half people believing it, half people not believing it, what ends up happening is that it's just going to keep spreading, because the people that aren't believing it are still going to get it regardless if they believe it or not. And now that just resets everything. So we can't get to the point where, okay, well, everybody has stopped now. Everything is stopped. We're good. Now we could go back to regular life, because everybody want to take their time with, oh, I don't want to believe that. I don't got to believe that. And now we're here where we are today. So I'm hoping that this time around, we've seen that, okay, regardless if you want to believe it or not, hey, it's still people getting confirmed cases out there. It's still people that they have tied directly back to when was it spring break? Remember that? Where everybody went down to Miami? They've already tied multiple cases back down to that situation as well. So now I'm just like, come on, man, can we please just, even if you don't care about it or not, or if you don't want to believe it or not, can we please just sit at home, please? Stay home. Just till we get over it. And then after that, y'all can go out there and put every conspiracy theory thing you want to put out there. You can say it's the government trying to control us, man. It's the man trying to hold back the brothers and all that. Man, whatever y'all want to say, y'all can say it. Just stay at home, man, till April 30th, man. Then we can get over this thing, man. Pretty please. Jeez. That's how I feel about it.
That's a good way to put it, because, you know, I'm skeptical about things, but at the same time, I'm really not out there doing the stuff like the spring breakers, or, you know, I guess I'm cautious about it still. I'm not defying it and just saying, oh, this is dumb.
Not verbally, at least.
What do you mean?
No, I'm messing with you, man. You said you're not defying. I was like, well, technically, you do be defying it.
Verbally, yes. What do my actions say, though? What do my actions say? That's kind of the... You could say whatever, right?
Hey, man, but that's the thing. Sometimes, man, not everybody will know that. They'll hear you say something and be like, well, Deke said it, man. I'm going to roll with Deke.
But it is how I think. It is how I'm thinking, though, and how I feel. So, that, I mean, it's both, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
But it can be. I mean, it's... You got to know how to filter certain things in and out, right? That's your own personal responsibility.
I just look at it like, man, I'm not even going to put nothing negative out there. Like, hey, stay home. The faster y'all stay home, the longer y'all stay home, the faster we can get over this thing. We can get back to sports. Everybody wants sports to get back played again, but nobody wants to take all the precautions. I mean, we had this debate all the time in text, man. Hey, basketball about to start back up. It can't start back up until we do this. But what if we do this? Hey, that's not going to work unless this happens, though. And that's where we at, man.
I mean, I didn't know if we wanted to discuss this at all.
Oh, it's whatever, man. Go ahead.
Did you see the thing about the whole Vegas plan, potentially?
Talk about it, man.
See, I didn't look too much into it. All I seen was one or two things, a tweet or two, and it said that there might be a plan, or there's this idea where they're going to put all the players and teams together in Vegas and hotels, and, you know, they have those facilities out there where they play the summer league games and everything, and that's where they would continue the season. which, I mean, I heard Paul Pierce and I think it was Kendrick Perkins yesterday on ESPN The Jump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was yesterday, but
Yeah.
it was online. I saw it online somewhere, but they said they weren't that much of a fan of it because they didn't like the thought of having no one in attendance or having no fans because of the energy fans give, and it just makes it seem a lot more meaningless if there's no fans.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, man, it's not like this is going to be something that's happening year in and year out. This is...
You don't know what just yet.
No. What I'm saying is playing without the fans. This would be a once in a lifetime experience for the most part. We would hope, at least.
Right.
Where, why don't we just do it without the fans and say, hey, we lived through history here and just see what it's like? Because one, the market's going to be there. Who's not going to watch?
Okay.
And two, like I said, it's just a unique experience.
Now, I understand you said the market from a TV standpoint. Yes. But you're not making any money with no fans there. Ticket sales, concessions,
at least
parking.
you're getting some money though.
The TV deals,
right? Yeah.
But the TV accounts for a lot.
We can't go outside anyway. We can't do anything anyway.
So I'm saying, like, in theory, though, the amount of money it's going to cost to turn on those lights in those buildings, though, to have all the people there that need to be there to operate and work the facilities. You're not going to be making that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I want to see, like, what's the price breakdown of how much it costs to open these arenas, have the lights, have all the everything that you need to do to make these things happen without bringing in all that extra money. You know what I mean? Just comparing it solely to the TV deals. Like, how does that break down?
That's a good point.
And you're still going to be paying the players, too.
Yeah, but I mean...
You see what I mean? Like, from a money standpoint... I don't know how many owners out, maybe Mark Cuban, because he seems the most like, hey, I just want this basketball thing to happen. Yeah. But like, how many of them are willing to say, hey, we'll lose money just for the game to be played? Because I think that's what it's going to come down to. Because I don't think it's going to be a even, oh yeah, you'll break even with that. I think they lose money in that situation.
What if they just start with the playoffs though? Because you know how the whole thing with the NFL where playoffs you're getting paid differently versus the regular season.
But the thing is this, we all know in terms of basketball, in terms of seeding, how do you just say, hey, this happened in, was it March? It was still March when this happened. I guess it still is March, but
beginning of March. So you had almost 3 months until the regulars or until the playoffs.
Until the playoffs, about 2 months.
I think it's like mid-April, end of April.
So for me, I'm just like, that's still a lot of basketball that was going to be missed. That was supposed to be played in terms of seeding, in terms of all of that. I think, man, I don't know how you just hop into that just for the sake of, hey, fans want to watch the game. Let's do this for the fans. I mean, because I know if you're talking contracts and stuff like that, some guys got benefits for making the playoffs. Some guys got benefits on per game averages and all that type of stuff. Different escalators and stuff like that in their contract, incentives and stuff. So I don't know how much they would be for that. I mean, it's easy to sit here when it doesn't affect our bottom line, doesn't affect our paper. But if I told you, hey, Deke, you got a $2 million bonus if your team makes the playoffs. Right now, you're sitting at one game out. Hey, we're just going to stop it and just, let everybody else go in. How you feeling about that?
You just try to make the best of a bad scenario. That's all.
Man, I understand it, man.
Because there's no right answer.
Yeah,
whatever decision gets made is going to make someone unhappy, at least a little bit.
Yeah, but I think the selfish people will be unhappy that the game's not being played. I think the people that look at the greater good say, man, I'm not worried about that game being played because at the end of the day, you bringing those guys in that arena to play together, you putting them in those hotels, you're exposing them to a whole nother network of people. Think about the hotel employees, the ones who got to go in there and clean, the cooks. Think about all those people. That's a whole nother people that they haven't been around because they've been in their homes, right? So now, depending on who in their circle of homes, right? Of all these teams, all these players that are going to be there, who have they been around? Are all of them taking it serious? Or is that person's wife, is that person's brother or sister they're living with? Are they all taking it serious? Or are they kind of like, man, I'm about to do me, man. I ain't worried about that. And now you expose all those players to that. And then before you know it, it resets the whole cycle again.
The simple answer is just everyone stays quarantined in that facility, in that place.
But what I'm saying is, before you get there, people have already been exposed to stuff. And you don't necessarily have to have the symptoms. That's what I'm saying.
What I mean is you just test everyone before you start that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that sounds as easy on paper, but they already talk about how it's trying to find the test, trying to make sure that people getting access to the test. And are you just testing the athletes? Or are you testing the coaches? Are you testing the training staff? Are you testing
everyone?
Are you testing the custodial people? Are you testing every single person?
Yeah.
And where are you getting all these tests from? Where are you getting all this money to do that? That's
I don't know.
Like,
I heard something on the news yesterday. There's going to be some easier tests out there, but
yeah, there's.
I get your point. I get your point though.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, it's not as easy as just take the test, because it was a shortage on test, and then it was trying to find valid tests. Was it? I think it was Italy. They bought. I think it was a couple 100,000 tests from China, and it didn't even work.
Wow.
So it's like, man, it's not as easy as just, man, we just get that and we're good to go.
We're still, it's end of March, 2 months away from even June.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're just hoping something's getting figured out.
I think this is where we differ, man. I think because you definitely have more of this, like, I need sports. I need it to happen.
It's weird because I probably wouldn't be watching much NBA right now.
For
anyway.
me, I'm like, I don't care about any sport being played right now. Like, granted, we want sports to be played because that brings money to the table. But I'm just like, dude, I just want to get back to the normalcy first. We can get back to sports whenever. But if you just in such a hurry to do sports, and you end up setting it back further because you were so pressing instead of just sitting back and waiting, like, I feel like it defeats the purpose. So that's why for me, I'm like, getting games played is the last thing on my mind. I'm more so concerned about how do we get the nation as a whole out of this, hey, quarantine stage, everybody stay at home. Because once we get out of that phase, well, I mean, then it's simple to just say, okay, we either going to play the rest of these games, or we're just going to count the season as an L, as if it was a lockout year or it was a strike year, and then we'll hop back in the next season.
Well, that's what I mean. April 30th then, right? You're hoping.
How many people are paying attention? How many people are listening?
So then
we just had this conversation. How many people, like how you said, man, I think one thing, but my actions do something else. How many other people are saying one thing, but their actions are saying something else?
But here's the thing. So March 30th, or no, I'm sorry, April 30th to June 1st.
Okay.
That's a month right there.
Okay.
Even July, they're talking about you could still get the NBA playoffs through July to Labor Day.
Man.
I mean,
hear what you're saying, man.
I mean, it's still there. I think it's definitely still there.
It is, but I hear what you're saying, man. Like I said, you're just a lot more thirsty for it to happen. Whereas me, I'm like, bro,
dude, like
I've already done like watched this NBA season, NHL season. I'm putting them all MLB right now. I'm like, okay, maybe we're getting a condensed MLB season. I'm hoping that we get a full NFL season. But right now, all that's still looking iffy to me, man.
NFL, that's when I would be really out of shape and just.
Well, and if it happens and you get out of shape, I just want you to look back to during this time frame where everybody, oh man, overreaction, underreaction, take it serious, don't take it serious. Quarantine, nah, I ain't quarantine. And then we can, you know what I mean? We can have that conversation then, man.
See, I don't know if with me it's really the serious, not serious of it. I'm just thinking we got smart minds. We got a bunch of people that know how to make things happen.
Okay.
You're going to have a month or two period break there where something... I think it could definitely be put into place.
Well, and then I ask you this too. So that month, when say everything is over April 30th and you got May, right?
Yeah.
May, June. Right. You expect these guys to go from being quarantined to just hop right into the season, hop right into the playoffs.
No, you got a month. You got a month there. Practice and...
Come on, bruh. That don't even sound right.
You want to do 5 regular season games? What do you want to do, man?
Stop it.
What?
That doesn't even sound right.
What's that? What?
Man, hey, look, man, take this month and then y'all gonna hop into these playoffs.
No,
and then we're gonna hold the same. We're gonna value these playoffs the same as we value last year and all the years before that playoffs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whoever wins, dude. Come on though. If you start the playoffs like that, no regular season games beforehand. And you have a champion, who's going to hold it against that champion?
I'm just saying.
Are you going to hold it against the champion?
Are you going to value that same as the other years?
I mean, would you discredit the lockout years then for some of those other
All
things?
I'm simply saying is, are you going to hold it in the same vein? You see how you said as, they were the champion during the lockout year.
No, dude, but that's what I mean.
Now it's dude.
No.
What?
LeBron was one of the teams that won the lockout year.
I'm just simply saying it was during a lockout year. It's not the same, bro.
Dude, yes, it is.
So if LeBron team missed a half of the season or a month and a half of games.
What'd they play, like 60 games?
If they missed a month and a half, man, stop that, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. Stop that.
Wait, LeBron's first championship?
Stop that, bro. Listen. During that lockout year,
yeah,
it wasn't as if the lockout was in the middle of the season or at the end of the season they came back. It was at the beginning. Once it was over,
Right.
they played the game straight through.
Right.
What I'm saying is you can't tell me you're going to look at this season the same way as them playing all the way up until March, taking a month and a half to 2 month break in March and then hopping right back into the playoffs. Like, they're not going to view that the same, bro. Like, stop that. What are you talking about?
Well, what I was saying earlier, it's definitely going to be a unique experience,
Right.
which would be really cool to see, because you're not going to have that another time in your lifetime where the playoffs and the championship is getting played in a Vegas like AAU court type setting.
I personally don't want to see that, man.
I do, just because it would be really unique.
Until you're sitting there watching the game like, man, this sucks. There's no energy here, bro. They could have just waited. And that's how it's going to be. Everybody, people that are pushing for that, then when it happens, they be the main ones complaining, man, this sucks, man. Where's the energy? Nobody getting hype. Gosh, it's so quiet. I can hear the ball dribbling. I don't want to watch this. I'm going to just check the box scores.
I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, all right.
Just bet on the game. I mean, that's one thing to get over that.
I'm cool on that, man.
Wait, but in terms of championship, if that happened, I would not hold that against the champion. Okay. I would say you're champion.
Well, my thing
you got
is
it done.
Man, everybody is different. Everybody's opinion.
You would wait. You would hold it against. What would you do? Have an asterisk?
I'm not holding it against. I'm just simply saying it doesn't hold the same weight.
So if LeBron won it, he has 4 rings.
Congratulations, he has 4 rings. Great. I'm gonna still be like, yo, he has 4 rings. That's dope. Right. But the conversation is still gonna come up that, oh, you know, he won it during during that crazy coronavirus time.
If you're talking like LeBron versus Jordan, you think that's something that's getting brought up?
They bring that up now. I mean, when it's LeBron versus Jordan, they bring up the fact that he's been to 9 championships and he's 3-6. You know what I mean? Like, as if that's something negative. Oh my God, he's 3-6. Like, bro, he went to 9. Like, I don't care. I don't care. But people will try to spin that up. Man, that 4th one he won, man, that's because of the coronavirus, man. That's all that was. No, the guys didn't get a chance to warm up. He's the only guy that has like a full gym in his house. So that's why he was able to be on fire. He was at a competitive advantage. Like, that's how they could spin it. I personally don't care about none of that. I'm just simply telling you, man, regardless of who wins it, that's going to be the conversation. They won it, but that was during that coronavirus time. You know, everybody had to take a month, 2 months off, and then they just hopped back in it. So it was kind of crazy.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't care about that either.
But like I said, everybody's different, man. That's all I'm simply saying, bro.
Just having a lost season, that's tough to swallow.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird.
Like, I would rather be a lost season than a janky, like, expedited, no fan, hardly any chance to get back into basketball shape type thing. Like, I don't know if you understand, but like as athletes, man, like your body, you are like conditioned for something. You train so that way once the season starts, you are in go mode. You tell, man, if you take a bye week in football, for example, you feel it that next week. It takes time to get back up to speed. Now you're going to tell me these guys going to take a month, almost 2 months off, and now, hey, y'all good, just play 5 games, y'all be back. What?
If they're willing.
Come on, bro.
If they're willing, but I have heard that multiple times from you, and then I've been hearing it on the radio from NBA analysts or former players that come on and talk about that. So that is definitely a concern. I don't know why.
It's not going to be an asterisk, but it's going to be talked about regardless of if LeBron wins it or if Kawhi or whoever wins it. That's going to be a conversation that's had. Man, well, these guys, man, not everybody was in shape, man. Some of the guys don't have the same type of resources.
I think it would be cool, though, man. The person to win the quarantine championship, it'd be interesting.
And now you call it the quarantine championship. You just asterisked it yourself right there.
It's not asterisk.
You just call it the quarantine championship.
It's no one else has that on their resume. I think it's a bump. It's a plus.
No, I'm cool, man. I don't, like I said, I don't want to do something just for the sake of doing it. And that's what this sounds like. We got to have these games played. We got to have a champion this year. Let's just play the games in Vegas at an AAU Summer League gym with no fans, maybe a couple reporters. Man, well, it's not even safe to have the reporters. I mean, when you find out that some of the league commentary people in terms of Doris Burke getting coronavirus, anybody can get it. So for me, I'm just like, I'm cool on that, man.
It's weird. I can't explain it why I don't want a lost season, because right now, how much NBA would I really be watching anyway? I mean, the game on Sunday for sure, and maybe 1 or 2 of the night games throughout the week, I would just have on. Outside of that, I mean, how much NBA am I really watching? Mm-hmm. The thing is, though, playoffs are different with me.
So you watch every playoff game?
For the most part. I mean, I definitely watch.
Stop it.
What? No.
You don't watch every single playoff game, don't you? You might win the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Or if it's like a key player that you want to see, like Bron, you might watch him first round, second round, bro. But you're not about to sit here and tell me on this mic, I watch every NBA playoff game. Boy, you don't watch every NFL playoff game. What are we talking about here, man?
NFL playoff games.
From start to finish. Don't sit up here and lie, bro.
Not start to
Oh,
finish.
thank you, man. What are we talking about there?
Not start to finish. I mean, you got to get to the bars and stuff. You might miss the first or second quarter or something.
Hey, man, but you know, Courtney, only fourth quarter with 2 minutes left matters anyway, so we ain't even tripping.
It's not the complete story, but no, with the NBA, it's a good point because I literally was only thinking Eastern and Western Conference finals. But what happens during that time, the playoffs, that's when me and all of my friends get together and we watch the game. So there's a nostalgia to it. Debates are happening nonstop. It's a really good time, the NBA playoffs.
It's all good, bro.
I think that's what I'm missing because I don't care about hockey, to be honest with you. As weird as it sounds.
I like the hockey stuff, man. I was actually like looking forward to it, man, because the Pens, they had went through a rough phase. Then they got back healthy. And then it was the whole, okay, well, they're healthy. They got their new trades in, the new players. How are they adjusting to everything? And they still going through a rough phase. Then they got a couple wins. You're like, okay, they turned the corner. Then they got beat. They had a rough little weekend, man. Lost 3 in a row. And then before you know it, coronavirus. And we're like, dang, what was about to happen here? Because for a while it was like, okay, can they get back to, winning their division? Or are they going to potentially miss the playoffs? Could that happen? I mean, they were on a skid. It was looking rough.
For as much as I don't watch hockey anymore, the thing that you could say about the Pens year in and year out, it's the same with us, same with the Steelers. You have Big Ben, you got a chance. You have Crosby and Malkin, you can go in the 8th seed. If your goalie's hot.
Well, no, and the thing is, in hockey, it doesn't really matter in terms of home ice and stuff like that. I mean, you go out there, you could be on the road, it doesn't matter. You're going to win if you got the better players. But the problem was they weren't playing good together. Like, the chemistry was off. And that was a large reason was because of the players that they had just acquired. They hadn't all meshed yet because they got them on a West Coast swing. So they hadn't even been back to their home ice. They went through, I think it was 4 or 5 games on the West Coast with just guys, hey, man, we just picked you up. Come flying right to the hotel. So nobody had a chance to gel. And then 2 weeks later, coronavirus.
That's not a bad thing, though. As long as they made the playoffs.
But that's what I'm saying. We were hoping they were, but they had literally dropped down to the 3rd seed. And I think we were a game or 2 ahead of Carolina at the time. So it still wasn't a guarantee.
Yeah.
And Carolina had just came in here to Pittsburgh. Like, literally, the Caps beat them. And then the Panthers had blasted them. And then they were supposed to play New Jersey. And that game got canceled because of the virus. So it was like, well, dang, man. Like, where are we going with this, man? Because out of the past 10 games, I think they had lost 8 of them. Yeah. It wasn't looking good. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Because that stretch could screw you into just not making the playoffs at all.
Absolutely.
But I'm telling you, if you just make it, you got a chance.
Oh, yeah, no question. No question.
I think in the past, the one year, I think the Kings were like an 8 seed and they made it to the finals.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, too, like I said, there's been times where like your 1 seed in hockey gets beat in the first round. It's just, it happens. You know what I mean? But the thing that gets
if you're hot, you're good.
Yeah. The thing that I looked at, though, I'm like, I understand, like, we put in this basketball thing, like, oh, it's got to happen. But the hockey finals, man, they're still trying to figure that out because that was going to happen ahead of time. And I ain't gonna lie, I was excited about it.
I know. It's the funniest thing, dude. NBA is the only one I care about for some reason. Hockey, I don't care. MLB, bro, they could cancel the season.
Hockey is electric, too, bro.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this in Pittsburgh, too.
Because I've been blessed, man. I've had the opportunity to go to, like, NBA finals, Super Bowl, and NHL finals. I'm not gonna lie, bro. The Super Bowl was crazy, but the NHL finals was absolutely nuts, bro.
Yeah.
And maybe because it was in Pittsburgh, but it was absolutely nuts. NBA was dope. NBA was dope as heck. I ain't even gonna lie, but it was more so like, it's like, I felt like I was in LA, like, oh, look at that star there. Oh, that person's there. Oh, that person's there. Hey, oh, they're sitting over here.
Each one has their own feel to it.
Yeah.
Where hockey, they do say that, a lot of people in Pittsburgh do at least, that if you're going to pick a sporting event to go to live, bro, a Penguins game is the one to go to.
It's crazy. Like, Steeler games, like, the fans get nuts for Renegade, but we talked about how, like, not everybody stands up the whole time.
Dude, that was the most surprising thing being up in Cleveland.
Right, how in Cleveland, the atmosphere, like, they're standing up the whole time. I don't know
if it was
like,
just because it was a Thursday night game against us.
Amped.
Yeah.
Amped. Like, we're sitting there like, yo, their fans in that stadium, it was a way more electric atmosphere. Steelers, once the Steelers get going, though.
Yeah, the loud level, right. Us versus Cleveland, like, when we get loud, we're really loud.
Crazy loud.
Just the whole game, everyone's standing. It was like a constant nice vibe.
Yeah. But, like, you go to a Pens game, bro, it's electric, bro. Like, start to finish, like, holy cow, man. So, That's why for me, man, I'm like, dude, I still want the NHL to happen. Man. I need that.
So you kind of want the Vegas thing to happen for NHL then?
No, I don't want it to go to Vegas. I want it to happen in Pittsburgh so I can go to the games. If it's in Vegas, I can't go there.
Wait, what's going on here? Wait, are you pulling a Deke here?
No, I'm just simply saying, like, if I had to pick which one I want to happen right away, I want this NHL to happen.
No, what I mean is you'd go then.
If we were allowed to, yeah. What do you mean?
Whoa.
What are you talking about? So if in May and June and everything is good to go,
I'm just surprised to hear.
You want to go to the game?
Oh, I would. I'm just surprised.
So why wouldn't you go to the game?
Because I think I would. I'm asking you. I just thought you were a little more cautious with this stuff.
What would you be if they say, "Hey, April 30th, everybody's good to go"? Would I'm supposed to just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna quarantine myself some more"?
No, but what if they say April 30th? So hold on, the whole April 30th thing. Are they saying at this point large gatherings are cool, or is it just more of businesses open? You can go about your normal business.
Well, technically, people are still going about their normal business. If you go to Walmart, Giant Eagle, all those type of places, they still have business as usual. The only thing they do differently now is when you check out, they got the 6 foot gap thing or whatever.
Because why are we even talking about the Vegas thing then if April 30th everything's good?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Trump just said that the quarantine is still going to last till April 30th. He hasn't said that everything is going to be good after April 30th. I'm just simply saying, in a perfect world, if everything was good April 30th, and they said, we're going to have the NHL finals and all that stuff happen in May and June. Like, then I'm gonna show up then if it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not about to sit here and be like one of those.
You just think it's gonna be extended.
I personally do. Yes.
Okay.
Because it's still a large portion of people that didn't take it serious when it first came out, which pushes back to where we are now. And now it's still people that are skeptical about it. Still people that are traveling, doing whatever they want to do right now. And that's my biggest thing. I mean, it's to the point where I don't know about your neighborhood, but I know in my neighborhood, they've already increased the police drive-thrus because they were saying that how even when we first made the announcement that, hey, you need to quarantine yourself, people are still going out gatherings in the neighborhood. So now you have to have the police come through and say, hey, man, get away. Stop. Don't get together. Go to your house. And you still got people that don't listen, bruh.
People don't want to be told what to do.
Exactly. But then they complain about, man, I'm so mad. We got to stay stuck in the house. Can everything get back opened up yet? Like, what are we talking about here, bro?
That's interesting.
Yeah,
all right. So I don't know what to think after going through all this, but I feel a little better now. Now with this
I'm glad you feel better than that.
I feel a little better now just with you saying that you'd go to the games and there's potential that.
All I'm saying is this, man. You speak of that as if like, I'm supposed to be one of those doomsday preppers. Hey, man, everybody's clear to go. No, bump that. I got to stay in the house, man. Hey, nobody leaves. Nobody leaves for another 2 months. Like, what?
I don't know. I was just surprised. I don't know.
You've seen me. The only thing I'm anal about is washing hands.
I mean, you're right.
Which I've been on that. Even you saw the first time we went and did an event together.
You did.
It's like, bro, I'm washing my hands before I eat. And you're like, man, I'm about to just do me.
You did have me around with that eye infection. We flew out to Arizona together with that eye infection. You kind of laughed at it. So, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But what did I make sure? Just washing my hands.
Yeah, you're big on that. So maybe I got to start to compartmentalize all that. Okay.
For me, man, I know what I do in terms of my healthy habits and stuff like that. That's why for me, this wasn't a big transition. Oh, wash your hands more. I do that. Keep hand sanitizer. Anyone who knows me knows I have hand sanitizer everywhere. Like, that's what I do. So, like, for me, it was never anything new. Like, seriously, like, okay, stay home. Okay, cool. Like, no, I ain't got to go here, and here. I can just actually, like, rest. So I'm not tripping on that, man.
You did say you're a homebody.
Yeah, so. Bro.
Well, hopefully it gets done quicker than later. So we'll see.
We shall see. Well, I guess that was our indirect coronavirus conversation.
It was masked in sports, though.
I like how we do this every time. Just like, and I'm telling you, we don't plan this at all. We have like our topic that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But literally, we'll get up here and then that'll just happen. That's crazy.
It was sports, though.
It was sports-ish, corona-ish.
NBA-ish.
Hockey-ish. It's all good.
So what do we got? We got new power rankings by NFL.com.
Yeah, man. So shout out to the NFL.com. They're still working. Obviously, you know, we appreciate them because that does give us content. That does give us things to have conversations about. And we talked about how before the NFL did a power rankings where the Steelers were ranked 16, I think it was on that list.
On that, yeah.
Yeah, and we had that debate in terms of too high, too low, because at the time they hadn't made any moves. At the time, Ben wasn't cleared yet, and they had him at 16 with the assumption that he would be cleared. So this would have been, let's see, today's the 30th, probably would have been the 26th. I think it was that the NFL.com had put out the new power rankings, and the Steelers are up on the list. They've moved up 6 spots. They're now at the 10th ranked position. And what they said was, all I want to do is talk about Ben Roethlisberger's beard. It's magnificent and mysterious and hideous and bizarre and comforting. All at the same time. It looks like Big Ben has been in quarantine since last March. The exit of Javon Hargrave to the Eagles hurts, but the Steelers acted quickly to address the loss by trading with Ravens for defensive lineman Chris Wormley. On offense, Roethlisberger gets a new red zone weapon in tight end Eric Ebron, who is 1 season removed from a 13-touchdown campaign with Andrew Luck and the Colts. Ebron is a flawed player, but the former first-round pick has a chance to put up numbers in Pittsburgh's 2 tight end offense. I didn't know we had a 2 tight end offense. That's new to me.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, bro.
It's a given with the pickup of Ebron.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, they just said it as if like this is what we do. It's like, man.
I mean, it's definitely going to be in play.
I hope so.
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Because we like to have a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. You do the math.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, if you're picking up Ebron and you bring Vance back, there's going to be some tight end action.
I understand. We're going to have tight end action. I'm not saying we're not having tight end action. I'm simply saying the way he is in Pittsburgh's 2 tight end offense is if like we major in, hey, we come out here in a lot of 12 personnel or 22 personnel. Like, how often do you see us with 2 tight ends on the field?
I don't know. I just think
that's what I'm saying.
That's going to be an advantage we have. That's all.
I hope so.
Yeah. So about this little write-up then. Wait, I mean, do we want to go through...
Well, first we'll read that write-up.
Okay.
We give our reaction to... Well, actually, you know what? To give context, we'll let the people know the top 10. We'll let people else know who has made moves. So the Eagles, they bumped up 3 spots. They were at 12. Now they're at 9. The Buffalo Bills, they were at 10. Now they moved up 2 spots. They're at 8. Seahawks are at 7. Titans at 6. Packers still at 5. Saints at 4. Ravens 3. Niners 2. Chiefs 1. So the top 7 didn't move. But everyone else has moved up in terms of the Bills, Eagles, Steelers. Cowboys moved up 2 spots. The Bucks, they had the biggest jump. The Bucks and the Colts both moved up 7 spots. So the Bucks were initially at 19. They moved up to 12. And then the Colts were at 20. They moved up to 13. Out of those 2, we were the next big jump with 6. Yeah, man. And then the Texans had the Patriots had the biggest drop. They moved down 8 spots from 8 to 16. And then the Texans dropped 6 spots. They were at 9. Now they're at 15.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man. So
the Colts 7 spots though with just Phillip Rivers. I mean,
go ahead. You mean?
That's kind of absurd. Maybe 3 spots, 3 or 4 spots.
We talk about some quarterback-driven league, right? You talk about how when Ben's out there, how confident you feel, right? How anytime Ben's like we're a playoff team, right? That's what you said, right?
They must be a big Phillip Rivers fan. Listen, I would have done the move if I was the Colts. Yeah, bring in Rivers, but in terms of how much that really bumps him up in a power rankings,
I'm just asking you. So you don't think that Phillip Rivers is a major upgrade over Jacoby Brissett and Brian Hoyer?
A fair upgrade, yeah.
And they were fringe playoff last year. Yeah. Oh,
they definitely fell off last year, though. I warned people about the Colts, man.
But think about it, even at the end, they were still in the conversation to make the playoffs. What are we talking about?
I warned people about the Colts.
You warned us about the Steelers too, didn't you?
Huh? Wait, what?
What?
Wait, I warned us about the Steelers?
Yeah, the same way you warned us about the Colts, right? Hey, man, don't believe it. Don't get too high on them. Oh, if only you would have took your own words. But okay.
A lot happened, dude.
No, I don't want to hear that.
A lot happened.
A lot happened with them too. Their franchise quarterback retired. Then Jacoby Brissett gets hurt. Remember, he got hurt in our game. So they used 2 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, but he came back. He
did come back. Yes, he did.
And he wasn't that good.
I'm just saying.
What I will say is Vinatieri sucked for them because I used that excuse for our 18-year with Boswell.
I'm not a big excuse guy. All I'm simply saying is to put it in context, they went through a similar situation that we did. They lost their starting quarterback, their franchise quarterback, to retirement in the preseason. We lost our franchise quarterback 6 quarters into the season.
I do remember having this conversation when we played each other.
Like, what are we talking about? We talked about how at the time that we're identical.
And we're still here.
Yeah. We said, man, we're pretty much identical teams right now. Their defense is holding them. Our defense is holding us. And then we said, man, right, I think at the time we had Mason at quarterback, or
Mason.
Yeah, we were about to make the switch to Duck. We still were in Mason right then. And they had Jacoby Brissett. We said, well, Brissett is the better quarterback. But then Brissett gets hurt.
He got hurt
early in that game. Shout out to Cam.
And Mason looked good in that game. From what I can remember.
He did.
He was making strides.
But remember that defense, we had a pick 6.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest difference in the game.
Well, dude, do you remember me coming in and I was like, dude, I didn't like this win.
Yeah.
Like, this just didn't feel like a good win.
Because you said, man, they missed the field goal. Is this it? And I said, man, I like it because the defense put up points.
Yeah.
We found a way to win. That's all I care about right now. So for me, I'm like, dude, for them getting Phillip Rivers, that is a major improvement to the situation they had last year, man.
It's definitely an improvement. But, man, that's a lot of spots. But
when you look at the other teams that were, okay, so if they were at 20 and they moved up 7 spots, some of the teams that have dropped since then. All right, let's see. They were in 20. Okay,
Yeah,
so the Falcons have dropped 3 spots.
I guess
They
those
were at
other
15.
teams, I can't really make a big
The
argument
Rams,
for.
they were at 14. They dropped 3 spots. We talked about the Patriots dropping 8 spots. The Texans. So it's like the Vikings.
Sure,
So when you look at these other teams in comparison, they took a huge step forward. A lot of those teams took major steps backwards.
Sure. I'll give you that then. Because
So I think
can't really make an argument for the other teams.
Yeah, so I think that's the biggest reason why. I mean, because I would have them ahead of the Vikings right now. They lost Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
You're not a big believer in Kirk Cousins.
No.
For me, I'm kind of like, I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's great, but his contract says great.
Yeah.
And I think that's the perception with him. The Texans, they're tripping. The fact they have him at 15 is them trying to spin it. And you see they talk about that in the article in terms of trying to say, well, maybe Bill O'Brien is just trying to acquire a lot of draft capital and offload some of those contracts. That's the only thing we could justify in terms of him getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins, because it made 0 sense. But them dropping to 15, I'm like, I'm not putting them ahead of the Colts. The Patriots, they don't have a quarterback right now, so I'm not putting them ahead of the Colts. The Rams got rid of Gurley. I'm not a believer in golf. We talked about that, so I'm not putting them ahead of them either. The Falcons lost their main tight end, Austin Hooper, so they bring in Ty Gurley, but we don't know what Ty Gurley is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're
And then
right.
the Browns.
I mean, there's no one you can really make a big argument for over the Colts.
And I'm like, the
right
Browns
now.
moving up 4 spots, but they were at 23 before then. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all fair then. I mean, I guess I just didn't really think of it like that. But
yeah. Like you look at it like, 13, like, dude, they're not the 13th best team. But it's like, when we're talking about right now,
the other teams,
they took major steps back.
Even though I wouldn't say from my perspective that getting Phillip Rivers is major improvement, it's still an improvement, a good improvement.
Bro.
But no, the thing is, all the other teams took a drop down. So I'll give them 13.
That's where we differ though. Like,
but you weren't. Remember when we were talking about Phillip Rivers and free agency versus like Tannehill?
And I do think that he's shot. I think he's definitely on the back end, a year to 2 years tops. But he's still a major upgrade over Jacoby Brissett and Brian Hoyer. That's what I don't think you understand. That's like saying, hey, you say this all the time, right? I'd rather have 80% Ben Roethlisberger over 100% Mason Rudolph and Doug Hodges. Is that not the exact same conversation? Jacoby Brissett and Brian Hoyer are, I guess, the best version that we could. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Mason and Doug like that. But if they got to their level, that would be great. But even them, they're not in that vein just yet. And Phillip Rivers is drastically better than all 4 of those guys I just named in terms of Brissett, Hoyer, Duck, Mason. So for me, I'm like, dude, that's a big move for them, man. They actually have a quarterback. Not saying that he's a top 5 quarterback, but Phillip Rivers is still going to be a top 10 quarterback. When are we ever saying Jacoby Brissett or Brian Hoyer are top 10 quarterbacks?
No.
So for me, that's a major upgrade, man.
Okay. I mean, Rivers, I'd probably have him in 15, but he has the potential next year to be in the top 10.
Okay. Even at worst at 15.
Maybe right now, though, some people would say 20. He has the potential to be top 10, though, for sure.
I'm not going to disrespect him and put him in 20. I'm not going to do that. That's for the people that want to overreact and go down this list of, man, it's down. Nah. Like for me, 15 at worst right now.
Okay. I mean, that's probably where I would have him if we were breaking it down.
Still, is Jacoby Brissett a top 20 quarterback? Is Brian Hoyer a top 20 quarterback?
No.
It's an upgrade. Major upgrade, man. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just surprised. I think I didn't know that you felt this way about Rivers.
I feel the same way that you know how you got your optimism about Ben, right? Because I mean, we could really go down that whole debate right now.
No, we don't have to.
Oh, because I was just saying, like, because I could sit here and say, man, for them to put these dudes at 10 right now, like, whew, we haven't even seen Ben healthy just yet. Is he healthy? We hear him talking, but is he?
Come on. Dude.
Now it's come on, but you see the difference, right? And that's what we're talking about right here. So for me, I can be a realist. I can
Ben's just better than Rivers, though.
When healthy.
I'm feeling good about the health right now.
The same way you're feeling good about NBA and all this other stuff being played right now too. It's cool, bro.
I mean, I'm more hopeful for that.
You're hopeful for Ben too.
I feel really good about Ben. I got facts. I got reports. I got things that are being
Exactly, man. That's all I'm saying, bro.
So we want to get into the Steeler rankings then. Any other teams too high, too low?
I don't think it was anyone too high. I think everybody's pretty much right, man. Like I said, I like the Colts at 13. I do think the Bucks are the better team, which is why they're ahead. And I do think Brady is still a lot better than Phillip Rivers. I was a little surprised in terms of the Cowboys being ahead of the Bucks, though. Cowboys at 11, Bucks at 12. I think I would have flip-flopped that personally. But I understand that for the Cowboys, they're keeping a core group of guys together. Whereas with Tampa, you're implementing a new addition. But he's still a really good addition. I also like the fact that they were able to re-sign Ndamukong Suh as well down there. Yeah, so I think that was huge, man.
Well, you know what flip I'm probably making? Bucks are too low, actually.
Okay.
I would put Bucks in probably the top 5.
Okay, so that drops the Steelers out of the top 10 then, huh?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I mean, Steelers should probably be in the top 5 or 6 as well. So.
Okay, hold, top 5 or 6. So who you taking out of the top 5?
I mean, you know it's the Titans already.
I said top 5.
Well, Titans are 6.
Yeah, we said top 5.
Top 5, I'd drop the Packers down 1. And you could other teams are fine. Other teams are fine.
Why would you drop the Packers down for the Steelers?
I mean, what about them are you feeling good about?
Aaron Rodgers.
They had an embarrassing loss against the 49ers. It just seems like their time is up.
Against the 49ers?
No.
An embarrassing loss versus the 49ers?
I'm just dropping them down a spot, man.
Bro, help me understand. Where did the 49ers end last season?
The Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
You're just not.
What?
They don't have receivers. I don't think their defense is that good. Top 10, yes. Top 10, top 15.
No, they're top 10.
All right, I'll give you top 10.
Okay.
Maybe. But if you look at the rankings last year, that was like more or less middle of the road.
Okay. That depends on what we're looking at.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we talking total defense? Are we talking points?
There were arguments for sure they were in the top 10, 7, 8, whatever. But I mean, our defense is better than that, and I feel way better about our offense. So yeah, we'll drop the Packers down. Now my question
is, why do you feel better about our offense though? You can't say quarterback play.
Let's give it a wash. Let's give it a wash.
All right.
For the sake of argument.
I ain't gonna lie. I can respect that because that's the closest we'll ever get to you conceding that Ben isn't just the god of all gods at quarterback. The fact that you said we could have it as a wash, I'll take that. That's because I know that took a lot for you to say that. But I was going to say, you're not about to sit here and tell me right now.
Considering health, we'll give it a wash. All right. So yeah, they have Devontae Adams. Who else do they have at receiver?
All right, who do we have at receiver right now?
I feel better about our depth, especially with the tight ends too now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of why I feel better. And we're gonna probably draft a running back.
Can't they make the same conversation though? They're probably gonna draft somebody or trade for somebody.
Yeah, but they really don't have much depth. I mean, they might get a guy.
The same way you just said, hey, we probably draft somebody.
We'll see who they draft.
They said the same thing.
We'll see who they draft.
Somebody, trade somebody. But as of right now, I'm just simply saying, man, like I don't have an issue with them being at 5. That's all I'm saying.
I'll drop them down a spot or two. That's all. Like I said, I'm going to bump the Steelers.
You're ready to bump the Steelers.
Steelers and Bucks. I'd put them over Packers, yes. And Titans are completely out of the
and
top
why is
10.
that? The Titans bringing everybody back.
We'll put them at 12.
And why is that? Why do you don't like the Titans? You really don't like the Titans. I don't understand it.
They're just one of those teams, man.
They're just good.
They're like the Dolphins of the past, 5 or 6 years.
But how do you say that? The Dolphins never were that good.
I mean, they were 8-8, 9-7, barely squeaking in the playoffs. No. And they had Tannehill as their quarterback. So,
bro, we already talked about the past 3 years what they've done versus what we've done. We've already had this conversation.
I know we have, and I've never felt they had a legitimate shot to win a Super Bowl. That's it.
And I'm sure you thought we had a legitimate shot this year too, huh? When we were sitting outside watching it.
No,
it's cool, bro. I ain't tripping.
Said,
it's cool.
Make
it's
some
cool,
noise.
Bro.
There was
it's
like
cool.
a 2% chance we could make
it's
some
cool,
noise.
Bro. It's cool. I ain't tripping, man. And you would have us ahead of the Seahawks as well.
Sure.
And why is that?
I mean, I don't have a big reason for it.
I'm trying to hear it.
I don't have a big reason for it.
Okay, I mean, quarterback play.
Wash. We'll say wash. Same thing with
shout out.
We just cancel that out.
All right.
Their weapons.
I think we have the better defense.
We definitely have the better defense. Okay. Their weapons. They lost Gordon, so
we definitely got the better defense.
They have Lockett and Metcalf.
Okay, Metcalf.
They just brought in Greg Olsen.
Nice.
They brought in Greg Olsen, and they
potentially bring Clowney back. Is he still sitting out there on the market?
Still, no matter what, our defense is gonna be better.
I do agree. But
no, I'm giving credit to their weapons though. Yeah. They have Disley and Greg Olsen at tight end, Metcalf and Lockett at receiver, Russell Wilson and Chris Carson coming back. Those are nice weapons.
Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright on defense, and those two dudes are ballers.
I'll give them our offensive weapons. So like I said, I don't really have a really strong reason for it. Just a gut feeling. That's all I can go off. Because if you look at if you go position by position, offense and defense versus offense defense, probably just a wash in general.
Yeah.
Probably just a wash. So that's just gut feeling.
And they did.
So I would probably put them over the Packers though.
And they won the head-to-head last year too, huh?
What? Come on. You know what happened, man. Come on.
What happened?
The GOAT went down. What can you do? We were up and he went down. That's how I remember it, at least.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Whatever you say there. All right. And okay, the Bills. This is the interesting one to me. So please tell me. Give me this wash. Give me this. We got the better team. We got the more depth.
You're saying versus the Steelers?
Talk about it.
Is this what we're doing here?
Let's go.
Or are we just saying that ranking in general?
Because you said that you would move the Steelers up to 5. That means that the Bills would drop because you're jumping the Bills. So please educate me.
Yeah, so us at 5. We'll put Bucks at 6. Titans are out of the top 10. So you got the Bills at 4? Huh?
Bills at 4 then, huh?
No. We could leave the top 4 how it is. I'm not going to make an argument.
So what is your case for the Steelers having the better team right now than the Bills?
Than the Bills.
Yes.
All right, hold on. I want to finish my rankings, though. So Steelers at 5, Bucks at 6. Seahawks at 7. They're fine at 7. Packers would be at 8 then.
Okay.
I guess we could leave the Bills in the top 10. We'll bump them down to 9. I mean, they've made some nice moves in the offseason. Who's their quarterback, though? That's the question, right?
A guy who led them to the playoffs?
Dude, that is the question. You can't argue there's a question at quarterback, though. Still.
How is there still a question?
Is he gonna be the guy?
What did he look like last year? You like the guy last year?
The guy? I don't know about that.
So he wasn't their guy last year?
I don't know about that.
In year 2, he wasn't their guy.
For year 2, I mean, can you be the guy going forward?
He proved last year he took a big step in year 2.
He made a step, but what step does that mean?
It was a big step. He led them to the playoffs.
He's in the top 20. He's in the top 15. I mean.
Okay, he led them to the playoffs.
Okay, what did he do in the playoffs, though? And he didn't impress me when they played us. I'll put it that way.
Wow.
He did 100 yards against us.
Whatever you say, bro.
He's got a first-round grade on him.
Whatever you say, bro.
You know how that is with
I know what I saw. My expectations were right where I saw.
He played good, though. I'm not going to argue that.
Okay, so what are you saying then?
It didn't impress me to where, I'm feeling so good about he's our franchise guy.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Whatever you say, bro.
They're 9, so I'll give them 9. They're at 8. So, all right, so are we going to argue them versus
that's what I want to have this conversation about, please.
So what do we want to do here? Break it down?
Yeah, let's go position by position if you want to.
Okay. Offensive weapons.
So we'll go Ben, even though Ben's recovering, we'll say Ben.
Are we going to go quarterbacks?
Yeah, so Ben.
Steelers quarterback.
Running backs.
We'll go them. We'll go Singletary, yeah.
Receivers.
We got to go them right now.
Okay.
I think we can best them out, though, throughout the season. Our tight end, and then if we want to tight ends us.
Okay.
Offensive line, I don't know much about that.
We'll say wash.
Okay.
We'll go wash.
Defense.
Oh. That was the argument the whole season. The whole season, that was the argument.
All right.
They did upgrade and bring in Josh Norman. They brought in Mario Addison. I mean what? Josh is coming back to the guy that when he was going all crazy in Carolina.
You know if that was
his Who was his guy in Carolina?
I don't know.
McDermott. Who's the head coach in Buffalo now? McDermott.
He was defense coordinator down there. Okay.
yeah.
You know, if that move was to Pittsburgh, I'd be loving it because of the name and everything. But
I'm not even on the name. I'm just saying, like,
he
I
might be
understand
washed.
in his system though, it's perfect for what he does. Another guy they brought in, Mario Addison, pass rusher, can get after the quarterback. His success. Who was his DC? McDermott, who's the head coach in Buffalo. McDermott. You see you catching on what's going on here? That's all I'm saying, man. Continue though.
I mean, do we want to break down defense like we did offense here?
I mean, it's up to you. I know you don't really like defense. Like
I don't
that.
I don't know all their names. All I know is Tre'Davious White. They got Edmonds as their middle linebacker, correct? Outside of that, I don't really know too much about them.
It's cool, bro.
So you can.
I'm just saying,
you can enlighten me as we go through this
what
if you want.
This, man, I look at as a whole, defense to defense. I say wash.
Micah Hyde too, right?
Yeah, Micah Hyde. They also have was it Jordan Poyer out there as well. Then on the interior D line, obviously Cam Hayward is the better player, more proven. Ed Oliver though is one of those guys. How we talk about Devin Bush, that's how they are about Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver was a top 10. I think he was 9th overall draft pick up there. Like,
so you're saying what I'm thinking of then is maybe the Bills should be above Seahawks or Packers then?
No. You feel that way because you put in the Steelers that high up. I said I think the Bills are fine where they're at.
8.
But I also don't think that the Steelers are a top 5 team right now either. You do. And that's why I'm asking you to justify why you feel that way. Because for me, like, I can sit here and say, man, I think the Bills are a better team right now than the Steelers because they don't have as many question marks. When we broke down the defense, said if the defense is a wash, we said offensively, though, outside of quarterback and tight end, receivers, running backs, we said we're Bills. That's what we said, right?
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, that sounds like the Bills are the better team.
And
right
then
now.
if you take if you take the defenses, then
And you said it was a wash.
Instead if it was a wash.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, dude, I'll give the edge to our defense then. If it has to be done, that's what needs to be done.
Is that right? Well, then, okay, if that's the case, I would give the edge to their offensive line then.
So this is what I'm saying. My whole argument about the Seahawks and Packers is kind of flawed then. So I need to put the Bills over those two. If I'm saying our defense is above
That's all I'm
Bills.
asking. But you really, like, the fact that you jumped the Steelers up 5 spots, that's the only reason we got to have this conversation like this, man.
It's a gut feel, dude. And
I'm just trying to understand your gut. That's it. Because for me, I'm like,
I can
make the argument right now, Steelers versus Eagles. I think the Steelers could be above them.
Oh, definitely.
I would make that move. But other than that,
they did get Slay, though.
I know. They got Slay. They lost Malcolm Jenkins, though, but they bring in Hargrave. I think their D-line is going to be nasty. So I like that a lot. I'm on the fence with Carson Wentz, though. I'm not. I know you're high on Wentz.
If he's healthy.
But you're like super high on Wentz. The way that
he's top 10, yeah.
See, I'm on the fence about him. I am. Put it like this: the way you look at Josh Allen in terms of, I don't know if he's the guy just yet. I don't know. That's how I went. I don't know just yet. I mean, he had a hot season. He did. He had one.
You're taking Wentz over Allen, though.
I'm just simply saying the way that you will crown Allen. You will crown Wentz and question Allen.
I'm not crowning him.
Yes, you are.
I'm just saying he's top 10.
For why? One season?
I mean, no. What, the MVP season?
Yeah. Don't call it the MVP season because he didn't win the MVP.
Right. He proved it again last year, though.
In a condensed setting.
With little help. Very little help.
Okay.
Very little help. Mm-hmm. That's all. I mean, he's on a nice trajectory.
So he can be on a nice trajectory, but Josh Allen can't be on a nice trajectory. That's what I don't understand.
I mean, he didn't have that season like Wentz.
What? Compared to his first year to that last year?
I know he made the jump, but...
So what are we talking about then?
I mean, you saw what happened in the playoffs, though, dude.
So that playoff loss was on him?
It wasn't completely on him.
So what are we talking about then?
I mean, it was a decent... That second half, the offense just sputtered.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
And then, I like clutch time. I mean... What can we say about that? We know what happened.
Why he let him in? Did he not get into overtime?
It wasn't.
Did I miss that? Oh, he didn't get them goals in overtime either, huh?
Wait, what do you mean? They were up 16-0, correct?
Yeah, and then you said they sputtered in the second half because remember the Texans took the lead in the second half. Did they not?
I can't remember that.
They did.
You sure?
Yeah, I am.
I thought it was 16-16.
No. Josh Allen, remember he had to get him that little.
What was it? 19-19?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
The end.
You sure?
We can look it up.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I like to remember what I like to remember.
I know how you do, man.
But I mean, because
so you're not gonna sit here and say Josh Allen to make any plays in that second half to get them dudes where they need to be in overtime, bro.
You could tell he's got the talent, man.
So if you could tell he has the talent, why are you hating on him then? That's what I don't understand.
Because the actual actions and the execution of the talent isn't completely there. It's just not, man.
So we judge people off of 2 seasons right now.
There's bad mistakes. No, it's just a question. Did they have a franchise QB?
I think they do. You think they don't. But then you'll sit here and say that you think that the Eagles do have a franchise quarterback in Wentz.
Definitely.
And that's what I'm saying. How's that a definitely, though? That's what I don't understand.
He's proved it. He's already proved it at this point. He could be the guy.
How many seasons has he proven it, though?
I would say 3. I think he's been in the league 3 years, right?
No, he's been in the league. This is what? Because he's already signed his
4th.
extension.
Him and Dak same year? Is that what it was?
Yeah, same time.
All right, so we'll just say rookie year to now. I mean, he's made that. He's made that.
Texans Bills game is 22-19.
He made that trajectory though, from his rookie year till now. I mean, he's just been on that trajectory.
So year 2 is just like, oh yeah, he's clear, and then year 3, year 4, it was like, oh yeah, he's done.
What did he do year 3? I can't even remember this. He got hurt.
Let's find out, man.
He got hurt again in the middle of the season. Fools took over. That's what happened.
That does happen a lot with him for some reason.
I think he had a pedestrian year 3 for the most part. Or he was just a normal year. It wasn't anything crazy. You sure we have to look at this?
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 seasons. I'll be curious sometimes, man. You know
year 3, because we know what happened year 4 and year 2. Rookie year, it was a rookie year.
Yeah, year 2 he balled out, man. Year 2 was when he had 33 touchdowns. That was the as you call it, the MVP season, right? Then after that, 20 touchdowns, 27 that passed this last season.
What was year 3?
Year 3 only played 11 games.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah, so he played 16 games that started out, 13 games that MVP season, 11 games the following season, and then 16 games.
I mean, because if you're talking outside injuries, man, that's solid.
Okay.
They got their guy. He's top 10. You know that for a fact.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there with you, bro.
What do you mean?
I'm not going there with you, man. I'm not about to say, oh, man, he's definitely for a fact. Like, I'm not going there just yet, bro.
I'll say top 10.
That's cool. Oh, wow.
What?
So you said that, that's guaranteed top 10, like the numbers and all that stuff. So Josh Allen, year 1, 10 touchdowns, right? 12 picks. Terrible, right?
Rough.
Next season, second season, 3,000 passing, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Huh? Do you know what we just talked about Wentz, right? What was his numbers?
Yeah.
We were just talking about how he had, let's see. That MVP season, obviously, he had the 33. His first year, 3,000 passing, 16 touchdowns, 14 picks.
It was a rookie year.
Then, third year, 21 touchdowns, 7 picks.
You said 11 games, bro.
And then
11 games.
Last year, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. It's not that far off. That's all I'm simply saying to you, bro. And you said it yourself, man, I don't even count all the touchdown stuff, man, because sometimes they leave them down there and hand the ball off. And we talked about how if we want to go, let me just look at the rushing touchdowns too real quick, man. Because we talked, no. I'm just, because the way you go at Josh, and like I said, I don't know the guy personally or not, but it's just
going at him.
It just gets me sometimes like, dude, why you hate on this man so much? So let's see. All right. For Carson Wentz, he's had 2 rushing touchdowns his first year, none the second and third, and then he had 1 last year. All right. Oh, wow. Josh Allen, 8 rushing touchdowns his rookie year, 9 rushing touchdowns last year.
Good for him.
Oh, so just for math purposes, 27 plus 1 is 28. Okay. All right. And then let's see for Josh, he had 20 plus 9. That's 29. Oh. So that means that Josh accounted for more touchdowns than your franchise quarterback, Carson Wentz. Is that what you're telling me? Oh, okay, I was just curious, man. It's cool.
Hey, man.
That's cool.
It's just a question.
Hey, numbers don't lie. That's what you always say, right? Numbers don't lie. That's what you always tell me, right?
That's not the case.
No. Hey, man, I like numbers, man. Especially in the back of my heart, I like these numbers.
Exactly. You got the numbers to back you here.
So can you put just a little bit respect on them? That's all I'm saying.
No,
man.
I'm just asking the question, dude. Is that not a fair question?
Is what not a fair question?
Aren't people in Buffalo probably asking that? Is Josh Allen going to be our franchise guy?
They were saying that the first year. This year, he kind of sounds like that. And now the reason why they're excited, because they're saying this. They're saying when you talk about Wentz not having real weapons, Wentz has had an Alshon Jeffrey. He had the good Nelson Aguilar and the good J.J. Nelson at the time, right? I mean, not J.J. Nelson, but the good Nelson Aguilar. He's also had Deshaun Jackson, right? In Buffalo, when they talk about Josh, they said, who was his best receivers he's ever had? John Brown? And that was just this year. He didn't have John Brown last year. Cole Beasley, this year, he didn't have Cole Beasley last year. See what I mean? So it's like, what receiver is, and now he's going to get Stephon Diggs, a proven Pro Bowler? They are excited.
Okay, I see their excitement. I'm just asking, can he do it? Can he do it?
He's done it with less. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see. A little more pressure this year.
Why? Oh, now it's more pressure. Why is it more pressure? If nobody respects, nobody think he can do it, why is the pressure?
That's not the popular opinion.
No, of course.
Actually, I don't know. It's probably 50-50.
So why should there be pressure then? And no one's believing him anyway. That man, shoot, you suck anyways, right?
No, there's pressure on the Bills though. As a
on
team.
The Bills as a team, yes. Yeah. But we're talking about.
Well, I mean,
because right now they're the favorite in the AFC East.
The Bills go how he goes though. So
and he went really well last year, did he not?
What?
He went really well last year. That's
really well. I'll give him. He played good.
We just talked about your franchise top 10 quarterback. No, you said top 10 or top 5. Which one is Wentz?
Top five, not top. Or I'm sorry. Top. Easy.
Wait a minute.
I already have my top 5 pretty concrete right now. Top 10. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
So we just talked about how he scored or accounted for more touchdowns than your cemented concrete top 10 quarterback. So
Wentz's weapons were trash, man.
We just named what the boy was playing with, man.
He had better weapons than Wentz last year.
So which receiver was better than Deshaun Jackson on the Bills?
No, dude. Deshaun Jackson was hurt. He got hurt like week 1 or 2.
Okay, we'll go there. Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, his best receiver late in the season last year, where they were making their playoff push, was, I think his last name was Ward or something. Greg Ward.
Okay.
That was his best receiver.
Don't try to leave off Ertz.
Yeah, but we talked about this. Wasn't he hurt?
He still was playing. He was still balling. Stop that.
I can't remember.
What are we talking about?
I can't remember that.
So let's see. Zach Ertz still had 916 receiving yards as a tight end. He led their team in receiving, bro.
900 yards?
Yes.
I mean,
that's almost 1,000-yard receiver. Don't poo-poo because we didn't have 1,000-yard receiver last year.
I heard Ertz, though. Outside of that, they didn't have anything. They had nothing.
Let's see. Dallas Goedert, their other tight end, had 600 yards. That would have been, he probably would have led our team in receiving or been up top 2.
Wentz made him.
Stop. He's a second-round pick, bro. Stop that. Miles Sanders was there. Oh, he was a running back, had 500 receiving. Alshon Jeffrey, 490 receiving yards. He played 10 games for them last year.
He was hurt, man. I'm talking about the playoff push last year.
We're not talking about. I'm just talking numbers.
I'm saying,
just say playoff push. We're talking.
You said carried the team.
That's not what you said. The argument was Wentz had no weapons.
Yeah, no.
And Josh had better weapons. I'm asking you right now.
You're going through the full season. I'm going through their playoff push. That's what I'm talking about.
Push. I'm talking. We're looking at. So when we break down his numbers, do we say, well, these touchdowns only came during that playoff push, so they don't count?
That's when clutch time happens. That's when you need to make your run.
Okay, so how many touchdowns are we taking off of Wentz's numbers then?
I don't care about that. I mean,
so which one is it? That's what I'm asking you. Which one is it?
I gave your point to you. You have the stats right now. Okay. You have the stats.
Okay.
You have the stats. So I got no really argument for that.
But then you try to say it was because Wentz didn't have anybody to throw to. And I'm asking you.
He didn't during the end of the season.
Bro, but I'm saying for the whole season, his numbers still are accounted for the whole season. He didn't throw 27 touchdowns in the last 4 games of the season.
I don't think he had that good of an early season, though.
He didn't throw 27 touchdowns in the last 4 games of the season.
No, I know.
So what are you trying to get at? That's what I'm asking you. Because when we talk about his numbers and we talk about the guys that he was throwing the ball to, Zach Ertz played 15 games.
No, I don't really have an argument for you.
So what
with the stats?
No, I'm not talking stats. I'm simply saying when you say that during his playoff push or he didn't have any of the weapons.
He didn't.
He had Zach Ertz for 15 games. Which receiver of those Buffalo Bills that I just named are good as Zach Ertz?
Well, John Brown had over 1,000 yards.
Is John Brown top 5 of his position?
No.
Is Zach Ertz top 5 of his position?
Yeah, but then we say he was hurt.
Bro, you keep saying that and his numbers don't say that.
I don't know. You said that before. I'm just going off what you said.
He played with injured ribs. Sure, everyone plays hurt. All I'm simply saying is he put up numbers.
Okay, outside of that, they had no one else.
Bro, we just had this conversation. So even for 10 games, Alshon Jeffrey, right? Which receiver do the Bills have that's better than Alshon Jeffrey right
now?
Dude,
I get what you're saying, man.
So stop saying that he doesn't have weapons then.
He didn't at the end of the season. He didn't. He just had Zach Ertz.
Okay.
And he carried the team.
And all I'm saying is Zach Ertz is better than any of the Bills receivers we had named, correct?
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do that.
So you can't say, so you can't make the argument that Wentz doesn't have weapons. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, a one weapon? I mean,
Is his one weapon better than what Josh Allen was going to?
I'm not gonna say Josh Allen had weapons. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, because that's what you said though.
I don't think
you did say that though. That's how we got down this conversation right here.
He has weapons now. Yes.
No, but before then you said when we looked at the numbers and I was like, well, man, that means that Josh counted for more touchdowns than Wentz. You said, well, Wentz didn't have any weapons, and then I said, Wentz got Zach Ertz.
Okay.
That's what I said. And then I said, well, if Wentz got Zach Ertz and that's his best weapon, I said, who's Josh Allen's best weapon? John Brown? And then you said, well, here's John Brown. And I said, well, is John Brown top 5 of his position?
Here's my question then.
And why? I said Zach Ertz top 5 of his
Here's my
position.
question then, in all seriousness.
Okay.
Why then, I think the narrative in general with Wentz last year was he carried the team.
Because
he carried the team. No, I'm serious.
We know how this goes, man.
But no.
Okay.
Did Josh Allen carry his team?
He did. He led them on offense. The defense balled out, though.
So that's what
defense went crazy, but he was the reason why they were winning games. And that's the difference between year 1 versus year 2. Because year 1, that defense was still nasty, but Josh was turning the ball over at a crazy clip. Then year 2, Josh stopped turning the ball over and started producing and scoring touchdowns. And then that's why they took that big jump to having the wins they had to making it to the playoffs and all those other things. That's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah. But we already talked about it from a national media perspective. Who's going to get talked about more right now? The Eagles, regardless if they were great or not. The Eagles, they're going to get talked about a lot more than Buffalo just because of the market. We said even when we talked about Defensive Player of the Year conversation, right? Shaq Barrett and Chandler Jones had crazy seasons. They weren't talked about in the same vein as TJ Watt and Stephon Gilmore because of the market that they play in. It's the same thing, man. No matter how you want to slice it, people in certain markets are going to get this a lot more, whereas others, man, I don't believe them. I ain't hearing about that. I don't trust them.
Listen,
that's the reason, bro.
So you're saying I'm underrating Josh Allen?
Yes, grossly.
I'm disrespecting him.
I've said that multiple times, but we had that conversation during the season last year as well.
Listen, it's just a question. Is he the guy? That's all.
I've already answered that question.
All right, yeah, you feel it. So I just want one more year. I want one more year. Mm-hmm. That's all.
But you were ready to crown Wentz after just 2 years, though.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No,
MVP.
He proved it this year. He proved it the last 2 years. Like he can stay at that level.
Bro, but you were MVP season.
He did.
That was in the second year.
It's just 1 year. That's the thing with some of these young guys. I mean, RG3 rookie year. Mm-hmm. How many quarterbacks came? I mean, Kaepernick too. Okay. Come in, have a hot start in their first 2 or 3 years.
Kaepernick he was still balling, bro. Don't try to short him either, bro. Come on, man.
I'm completely with you on that. Okay. But in terms of top 10 level or the top 5 level, he was playing
I'm not saying that Josh is a top 10 quarterback right now. That's not my argument. All I'm simply saying is you disrespect Josh if he's the 30th best quarterback in the NFL.
I'll give him top 20 right now.
It was even the time where last season you said that you would take Duck over Josh Allen.
No. Come on, dude.
Going into that game.
Come on.
Bills versus Steelers.
In that game, I said I would take Duck.
Exactly.
In that game, I would.
And why?
I thought Duck was more it factor-ish than that, than what he proved. That's what I thought, man. It was Josh Allen's first primetime game.
You was doing a whole bunch of this.
It was a lot of talking.
And I told you, I said, look, man, my allegiance is with the Steelers. We've already made that clear. I love Buffalo. I love Bills Mafia, but my allegiance is with the Steelers. And I told you, I said, what do we say off camera? I said, man, I didn't even want to pick the Steelers in this game because I already knew. But I said, because it's my loyalty, I'm going to ride with it. I'm going to do it.
We still should have won that game, though. Let's be real.
You finished?
I'm done, but I mean, we both know that.
You finished? Because we could really go down this list of, man, we should have won a game. We should have lost that game. We should have lost that game.
We don't have to get into it.
I'm about to say, do we really want to do that?
No, we don't. Okay, I just wanted to chime it in.
Okay. That's all I'm saying, man.
All right, so where are we with all these rankings and quarterbacks?
Man, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm looking at every team that you had the Steelers jumping over.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying, because we still didn't even dive into this Tennessee Titans conversation all the way just yet. Like, I still don't understand that. They got Tannehill coming back. They got Derrick Henry coming back.
They look, I mean, you could say on paper, you could say whatever. I just know for a fact they're not going to be good this year.
How do you say that you know for a fact? How do you say it with such conviction?
I know history. I know the game, dude.
How?
I know the ebbs and the flows.
How? Like, what?
I know the ebbs and the flows.
You're funny, bro.
So just like we were talking about with Josh Allen, there's an ebb and a flow to his career here. It's either he's making that really nice step or he's taking a step back, and you're just like, I don't know if he's the guy. So that's what his year 3 is coming to be. And the Titans, they have not proven 9-7, 8-8, 9-7, We know what they are, and this is where they start
They
taking a
seem to
downfall.
be winners.
This is when they take a
They seem to
downfall,
be
dude.
perennial playoff contenders right now.
If I know history, if I'm talking the ebbs and the flows, this is what happens at the Titans. That's all.
But I just wonder sometimes about your history, man. Sometimes your facts are a little weird. You know what I mean? They ain't as good as they need to be. Sometimes they're not fact based. Sometimes they're just based on a true story. You know what I mean?
A true story.
Yeah, it's like based on a true story versus like a fact book. You know the difference, right?
A true story. It's true.
No. Like based on a true story can mean, hey,
it's your own true story.
No. So based on a true story means we're gonna tell a story about how Deke was this amazing fighter. He went through all the countries, killing everybody, but he did it wearing Chucks. So now you never went and fought anybody, but you got Chucks on, based on a true story. Whereas if it's a fact-based thing, is, hey man, when we talk about Gandhi's a great leader, man, a mover. Like he does things like this. What he did, he did this. Those are all facts. We can point to those things as facts. Facts versus based on a true story. So when you talk about the Titans, it's kind of like, oh, it's based on true. When you talk about, hey man, I know the ebbs and the flows of the league is based on a true story. You might know like one little thing in there is all right, but the rest of it is a bunch of nonsense, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm not going to completely disagree with that. I'm just not. So yeah, I mean, I just don't think the Titans are going to be good. That's all.
Fair enough. Hey,
you can talk my head off with,
It's cool, bro.
I think their offense is going to improve. Tannehill's not that bad. Henry's in his prime. It was a lucky run. That's all I know.
Whatever you say. I don't think it's a lucky run. I do think at the end the Steelers will have the better record, but I'm not about to say the Titans are going to miss the playoffs next year. I'm not about to say that.
Yeah, maybe I should start thinking about their division.
Now we should probably think about the division. Okay, the Jags. Whew, yeah.
Texans are
the
down.
Texans. Oh, man. You're not even believing in Phillip Rivers like that. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, I think Phillip makes it competition. I think he makes it competitive, but I still think the Titans are the better team between them and the Colts. That's just me personally. Oh, but no. You know, you got it, bro. You got all the answers today, man. The ebb and the flow, the yin and the yang, the history and all of that. Yeah. Go ahead. Sure. Yeah. I didn't even go to the conversation of saying I think we're going to make it further in the playoffs. I simply said I think we'll have the better record because now with the new playoff format, if you're not a 1 seed, it's going to get messy. It's all about what matchup you draw. So even with that, I don't even want to talk that yet because they might get that matchup where it's just, hey, they're going to run this ball like we seen them do. And it's just a bad matchup for a team where we got to go do something crazy. Hey, I'm good on all that. I ain't messing with it. I'm just simply saying we'll have the better record. That's it. Now, who's going further will have the better record.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that too then.
You funny.
I'm good with that.
Because they'll mess you right there.
Huh?
I say, because that division they're in right now is suspect at best.
It sucks, but that division always sucks. Ever since Manning left, ever since even Manning was there, that division has sucked. Mm-hmm. There's been no teams. It's just been either Manning's dominated or a bunch of 8-8 teams.
Yeah. And every once in a while, you get like one team that takes over the league, takes over that division for a year.
Yeah,
Luck, Jacksonville.
Luck did for a stretch, but then Luck's been hurt in and out, and then you have a bunch of like TJ Yates and just crappy Titans teams. They're like 8-8, and they make the playoffs. That's what that division's been. So you're saying Titans are going to be the team that takes over now? Or am I going to say that history is that division's going to go back to the whole mess? That's kind of maybe what I'm thinking now.
All I'm saying is this, though. But this is what
if I'm trying to piece my puzzle together.
Because you're trying to, but this is what I'm trying to tell you, man. Even if the division is a mess and they win that division with, say, 9 wins, that means they're going to probably be hosting a game.
I don't care about that.
You don't care about that until you're in the playoffs and you get to go on the road. Then you care about it.
Well, I didn't think... Let me put it this way. I thought the Ravens were a good team. Mm-hmm. We know that. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to see it in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So I was skeptical on them. Mm-hmm. We can agree with that, right?
Okay.
I was consistent with that. Mm-hmm. And then the Patriots were they were shit last year.
Okay.
They just were.
Uh-huh.
So they had a nice little stretch there. Okay. If they got to play a real team, though, come on. We saw what happens against the Chiefs.
Yeah, what happened to the Chiefs?
They got smoked, dude.
Okay.
They got smoked. Mm-hmm. That's all. They were exposed.
Okay.
Just like I'm getting exposed left and right here and there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What?
So they got exposed by the Super Bowl champs, but they beat everybody else.
Chiefs
they beat the 1 seed.
Chiefs were a real team last year.
So the Ravens weren't a real team last year.
They were good. Yeah. I guess they weren't real enough. I don't know.
What? Or it could be that the Titans are actually a good team.
It's tough to say.
Oh, okay.
It's tough to say.
Whatever you say, bro.
I'm not giving them that going forward. I'll put it that way.
You didn't give it to them last year, even in the midst of it. You weren't giving it to them.
I wasn't because I knew they were going to lose.
But doesn't this classify as making noise? Isn't that what you always say? They ain't gonna make no noise. They went to the AFC Championship game. Is that not making noise? What other noise you need to go? Is Super Bowl only making noise? Like, geez.
Yeah, they made some noise. It was cute noise. It's fine.
What?
It was fine. It was cute. But Steelers, I'm not saying for Steelers this year make some noise, because make some noise is just that thing you say and you're just trying to be cute.
No, because remember I asked you, like, help me understand what makes some noise.
Yeah, exactly. Steelers. So make some noise is like, it's a long shot. We're just gonna make some noise. Ha ha ha. No, for the Steelers this year, for certain teams this year, you're saying Super Bowl bust is serious. Yeah. It's a serious time. Mm-hmm. Make some noise is just, I'm gonna be funny about it. I gotta cover all my bases here.
You're funny, bro.
It is what it is.
Fair enough, man.
Steelers, we're not making noise. Let's go. It's time. That's the conversation.
That's
with us.
Always been the expectation.
Yeah, but last year it wasn't, because you heard me say we're trying to make some noise, and it was a long shot.
You just talking circles. That's what I realized with you, man.
What do you mean?
Keep talking to you, trying to. I hope this makes sense right here. You know what? Yeah. That's
it
what
does.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Make some noise with it, man.
It's consistently inconsistent, but I did say that. I did say that last year. I said, make some noise. And you could tell by my feelings that I was just being goofy. Yeah, let's float this out there. So, yeah.
I like it, man. So you don't have the Steelers in front of the Saints, though.
I'm just not.
Niners, Chiefs.
I'm not going to make an argument right now.
You sure?
Yeah.
I mean, we made some moves, though.
I know. But
even with the Ravens. Remember the Ravens, they gave us Wormley. They brought in.
We're playing chess, right?
You know what I'm saying? Chess versus checkers and all this stuff. I mean, whew. Yeah.
I'm just not in the mood to make the argument. I mean, the season hasn't started. They're preseason rankings. I'll give them that. I'll give them the.
Okay. All right.
In terms of the other teams, though, I had to put my foot down.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, what's so funny? I'll bump your Bills up, dude. You convinced me. I'll bump them up.
Man.
I'll bump them up over the Packers, and not the Seahawks. I'll bump them up over the Packers, though.
So that's your ranking, because the Seahawks are at 7, the Packers are at 5.
I bumped the Packers down to 8. They were below the Seahawks.
Got you.
So I got the Bills wedged into with the Seahawks and the Packers now.
So that's what, 7 for them then?
No, Bills are still at 8 then.
Oh,
They're just going to be at the same spot. Packers are down to 9. Jeez.
Oh, man. You're funny.
And I'll leave the Eagles at 10. So that's good.
What? Hold on now. Say that again?
Eagles at 10. Yeah.
So hold on. Who's 7?
7 is the Seahawks.
Okay. 7
Seahawks. Bucks are 6.
Oh, 5. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have Titans completely out of it.
Yeah. Put them at 12 or whatever. I don't care.
Cowboys crack your top 10?
Were they at 11?
They're
there?
11, yeah.
I'll put them over the Titans. What the hell?
But the Titans weren't in the top 10 either.
Huh?
Titans weren't in the top 10.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Put Titans at 12. Swap them.
So the Cowboys stay at 11 then.
Swap them in the Bucks.
You're funny, bro. You are funny.
What's so funny, dude? What's so funny?
Oh, man. Just the way you move around an AFC championship game team, a team that lost to the Super Bowl winners.
And
they're bringing everybody back.
The perfect example is the Jaguars.
No, it's not a perfect example,
It is, dude.
Because the Jags did it for one season.
Huh?
The Jags had one hot season. We talked about the Titans. They've won a playoff game already. They've already done that.
Bro.
They've already done that. We done this argument before too, man. Come on, bro.
I think you put too much weight on some of these playoff games.
Oh, man. I do.
Yeah.
It's interesting you'll say that for this, but you in the same vein say something totally different when it pertains to you. You know what I mean? How you want to make your argument about your Steelers, man. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Because we won chips, man. I already know we can do that, so.
We won chips.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
We've been.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So I got faith in that.
Okay. And when were those? When was the last one?
We made it to the 2010 one.
I said the last one we won. You said we won chips. Yeah.
Well, we got screwed out of that one, but the 08 one, it was 08. So that's always there, though. You can rely on that, man. Now you know that with Mahomes and the Chiefs, dude. If they lost, now you're just like, do we know? Do we know?
Okay.
How long was it with Peyton Manning and the Colts that you were like, do we know?
I was never like that personally, but I got you though, bro.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't, but I got you though, bro.
I'm not. Listen, here's the thing.
You don't like messing with your Deke? Come on, man.
No. Here's the thing, though. In all seriousness, I'm not saying that it's correct. I'm not saying that whole thing is without flaws, because it is. But it's just how fans and people feel about the situation.
That's unfortunate. Why do
dude,
people feel
Garoppolo
like
right now,
anyways,
the 49ers, you have to be. You cannot be.
Dang, so I'm looking at this. All right, so
hold on.
Go ahead, man.
With Garoppolo, though, you can't say to me that the 49ers fans aren't in the back of their minds thinking, dude, are we sure we have our guy? Are we sure we can get back to where we were? That's all. You saw it with the Rams last year.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
That's all, man. That's all. I'm not saying it's not flawed or not, because if Mahomes would have lost, he could be Marino, and you would take Marino over however many quarterbacks of all time.
Easily.
Right? You know what I mean? If Mahomes never went on to win a Super Bowl, you would say he was still an awesome quarterback. And I mean, yeah, so that's that. I don't know how much that made sense, but
I'm real with you, bro. It's all good.
That makes sense?
It's all good. I'm with you, man.
I think it made sense. I'm not saying it's not flawed. It's just,
I think we just different our mindsets. That's all. It's cool, man.
It's all I have to go off of, dude.
It's cool,
it's
man.
all I have to go off of.
Hey, man, you know what they say? We can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And we just agreeing to disagree right now.
But you know what I'm saying is true, though. That happens.
From
like that happens.
Perspective, yes. I'm just simply saying
you don't agree with it. You're right.
I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. I'm just giving you that.
Regardless of if Mahomes would have won it or not this year, that wasn't going to change my perspective of if Mahomes is the guy. It was never going to change. That's what I'm saying.
You know he's the guy, but you would ask, can he get it done? Can he get the job done?
No, I wouldn't be concerned because I know he can get the job done.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's
with
the
Marino.
question.
I feel like I know Marino can get the job done if he had the right people around him. Things work out, yeah. But I also understand that it's a team sport, and I love how fans, in particular, if it's good, quarterback gets all praise. If it's bad, oh man, team sport, baby, come on now. Like, nah, which one is it? So for me, I don't go down that line of, they only won it because of that guy. He's the reason. He's the guy. Like, no, I look at it and say, man, their team top to bottom is a better team. That's why they're going to win this game. Versus when you have just an elite quarterback, but the pieces around you, similar to what we've seen with Aaron Rodgers for multiple years. It's like, I'm not holding that against Aaron Rodgers. I know, hey man, you got to have some stuff around you. They're going to win the whole thing. It doesn't just work like that, man. It's not like basketball. Basketball, you can go out there. If you got the best player on the court, and the other team has this one or two dope players, but not Golden State, like how they were like stack, but like they just got like a normal roster, then that team with the best player is going to win in basketball. When it comes to football, it's not like that. You got to have the whole thing out there, man. That's how it works.
I agree with you. Quarterback's just the most important position. That's all. So
fair enough. Until you got a field goal kicker that's not kicking, then now the field goal kick, you got to have a field goal kicker then, huh? Okay. Or if you got a guy who fumbles a lot, man, we got to get that.
No, you just blame them, dude. That's all.
Yeah,
like you said.
And for me, that's why like my perspective is drastically different from fans' perspective. That's all I'm saying, man. That's it.
That is a good point, man. Because if a quarterback, you think of Brady in the Super Bowl, he leads a game-winning drive for the field goal. That's Brady, man.
It's Brady. Let that kid go out there and be missing it though. I don't want to hit that. Nah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Vinatieri does kind of get some credit with that for whatever reason.
Or even what was the running back, James White, right? The year when they had 2028
the Falcons
year when the Falcons won. Say he's out there fumbling the ball after he catch a couple of them passes.
Well, we know Mendenhall did that, man. With us.
Yeah. That's his perspective, right?
Yeah, you're getting me to think. I don't know how much I want to though, but
that's why just for me, like I said, my perspective versus fans, we just differ because I'm like, I don't want to hear all that. That's the most important position out there, man. That's the only one that matters. Okay. It's all fun and games until, all right, let that start tripping over there. I bet you offensive line became real important when Ben was getting tagged. It was like, you know what?
Oh, it was.
We gotta fix this offensive line. This is important to us.
We won the Super Bowl in spite of our offensive line. Ben overcame it. Yeah. It is. It's what happened in 08.
Got that MVP, the MVP one?
Come on, man.
You said he overcame it. That's what I was asking. That one?
What MVP one? What are you talking about?
You said that Ben overcame it, and Ben was like, that's what you said, right?
He wasn't granted the Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, you just threw me out because when you said that he overcame, you made it sound like he was the only reason why they had won.
Just watch that last drive, dude. They've been airing it everywhere, man.
The last drive.
Yeah.
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 I remember seeing that.
All credit to our dude Santonio who came on.
Yeah,
but,
shout out to Tone. Yeah, Tone time.
I mean, but you gotta have someone throwing the passes.
You got someone catching the passes too.
I know, and he did. He was awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Like you said, it's a team game.
You are funny, bro. That's what you my guy, man. That's what you my guy. I don't care what no one says, man.
Come on, man.
I don't care how you sit in that chair with your ripped jeans, slouched. I don't care about none of that, Deke. I don't care. You my guy, man.
Thanks, dude. Thanks. We got anything else to get into here?
Man, we got to talk.
Do we have to recap? Like, do we have to have a definitive recap on this at all?
I don't even know, bro.
What's your list? Because I gave my top 10.
Yeah, so I said for me, man, I love the top 5. I think that's fine. You can make an argument with the Packers.
You're sticking with them at 5?
I am. I said, man, I was going to debate Packers versus Titans at 5. I personally feel like because of Aaron Rodgers, I keep him ahead of the Titans. I think the Titans have a more complete team because we talked about the offense, right? In terms of with the Titans offense, you saw with AJ Brown, like he's a stud. He's going to be a beast. Derrick Henry is a man out there. And for me, I love that combo right now. And I love the continuity of keeping Ryan Tannehill, a guy who came in and played at a high level once he got there. I love that. But when I look at it, I say, man, give me Aaron Rodgers over Tannehill. That's just how I feel about it personally. So Definitely. That's why if I'm looking at their rosters and saying, okay, there could be some similarities here. I think Devontae Adams versus AJ Brown. Obviously, Devontae's been doing it longer. But AJ, I mean, dude, he's a 1,000-yard receiver. He's up and coming. And he did it without even having Tannehill the whole season. And he did that with Derrick Henry being the man. So I'm like, okay, I like that. But that's the only thing I could potentially see flipping. Seahawks, like Seahawks a lot. Obviously, I'm with Russell Wilson. I think that he's still, balling out at a crazy level right now. And when we talk about people doing stuff in spite of their talent around him, he's definitely one of those guys. But now that he has DK Metcalf,
I don't know. Yeah, he's got talent now, man. I would give
Metcalf.
I would give it to them over us in terms of offensive talent. Yeah,
I'm definitely expecting Metcalf to take a bigger step in year 2. Now it's going to obviously be a little different just because of how this offseason is playing out right now. But if they're able to get Jadeveon Clowney to come back, because they had already offered Clowney initially, and Clowney said that he wanted more, but obviously his market isn't what he's expecting it to be because he's still sitting out there as an available free agent. So if those things don't work and he ends up coming back, man, I think that definitely moves them up.
Yeah.
But until that happens, I'm not ready to bump them ahead of the Titans or the Packers just yet. Bills at 8, I like that. Actually, I like it a lot. I was thinking about even putting them at 7 over the Seahawks, but when I go quarterback play, I say Russell Wilson's the better quarterback than Josh Allen. And it's a large gap between those two. So anytime it's the large gap conversation, I go with, okay, I'm going to keep that team with the better quarterback with the large gap right there. Eagles, I got to move them. I flipped them with the Steelers. Like I said, I think Wentz.
We're at 9.
Yeah, I'll put us at 9. I have Wentz in them at 10. The thing is, man, I like the pickup of Darius Slay. I think that helps him out from a defensive standpoint. Obviously, they bring in Hargrave. He going to be a beast out there, especially with those other guys that he's playing out there on the D-line with, man. I think him, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, all those guys, like, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. But they still got some things they got to adjust. They also bring in Nickel Roby-Coleman.
They just
from
signed
the Rams.
him.
They signed him, yeah. And he's getting reunited. Corner. Yeah, he's reunited, though, with Jim Schwartz. When he was with Jim Schwartz up in Buffalo as their DC, he was balling out, going crazy. That's what got him to get the big deal to go to LA. So now he's back there. So now I'm even more excited about that because I'm like, okay, I already know what he looks like in this defense and how he's going to produce in that. So I think that's dope. But I think that the Steelers, and I always operate with Ben being 100% healthy, right? So if that's the case, I think that Ben is clearly the better quarterback between him and Wentz. Now, I don't look at that gap the same as Russell Wilson to Josh Allen though. Like when I say Russell Wilson to Josh Allen, I think it's like if we're talking a scale of 1 to 10, I think it's a 5-point difference between those two. Whereas when we're talking Ben to Carson Wentz, I don't look at it as that big of a gap
2 or 3.
those two, right? So 2 or 3. So that's why even with me bumping them ahead of the Eagles, it's still debatable to me because I'm like, man, they're not that far off. But the thing that I look at is this: from a receiver standpoint, I'm banking on Juju coming back being better next year. I'm banking on Deontay Johnson taking another step because he showed we could do it in the return game, and he did have flashes as a receiver. But now I'm like, okay, you out there with Ben, that's totally different than Mason and Duck. Year 2, you're a little more, okay, I'm used to what they're doing from a defensive standpoint, how teams play me. Okay, where my soft spots are. How do I get in and out of my breaks? I'm more comfortable with that. So I like that. Ebron and Vance, extremely high on that because I feel like it's boom or bust. It's boom or bust with that right there. But I'm leaning towards boom. That's my biasness. Like, I'm like, hey, man, I want 13 touchdown Ebron. I don't want the other years. I need 13 touchdown Ebrons. That's all I'm focusing in on. So that's what I'm hoping. Now, I do hope that it goes well for him because he's a talker and he's out. He likes to speak. And we know how our fans get. We saw that even with Mike Mitch. Mike Mitch, man, he was a talker. He gonna put it out there, social media. He gonna put it out there in his interviews. And if you're not playing at a crazy level the whole time, fans turn on you. We know that. So I'm hoping that Ebron plays at a high level so he don't have to deal with that because I was around my dog when he was dealing with it, man. It's not cool.
I'm not turning on Ebron, dude.
People were saying that then. I'm just saying.
I'm not.
I've seen it. That's all I'm saying. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it. Okay. But with that being said, man, I do think that the Steelers still have the better team as a whole defensively. The Steelers defense are drastically better than the Eagles. So that's why for me, I bumped them up and I have the Steelers at 9, Eagles at 10. I flip-flop Bucks and Cowboys. I think Bucks should be 11.
Okay.
First team out. I think the Brady addition is huge. Brady is a better quarterback than Dak. When I look at the weapons that the Bucks have compared to the Cowboys from an offensive standpoint, they have Amari Cooper, but we looked at the Bucks. We said, man, they got 2 dudes out there who balling out there, and I think that's the difference. I think they need a running back still. They can handle that. That is a drastic upgrade for them. But defensively, dude, between Sue, between Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, and that's on the D line right there. That's freaky. Then I look at the linebacker situation. Devin White, he's a beast. He can ball. So I'm like, okay, I like that a lot still. And I know with the Cowboys, they just lost Byron Jones to the Dolphins. So I'm like, they lose a major piece. They still got concerns with Leighton Vander Esch in terms of
lost their center.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Frederick,
yes. Yeah. So and even when I'm looking at Leighton Vander Esch, I'm like, okay, is he healthy yet? Because remember, he missed a ton of time last year, and that's why they ended up re-signing the kid from Penn State, Sean Lee. And for me, I'm just like, okay, we know Sean Lee. He's a good player. A little long in the tooth now. He's been beat up a lot, and he's not Leighton. So it's like, all right, if he's their guy going forward, I'm not ready to put them as, oh, man, their defense is here.
I think they're up there. I mean, where do I have them? I said I have them at 11.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably...
Now, they did bring in Joe McCoy, though, and I do like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're the Cowboys, so they're always gonna put the Cowboys at least in the top 15 no matter what.
But, man, they lost a lot, though, man.
Yeah.
Byron Jones gone,
that's
Robert
the thing.
Quinn,
We talked about...
Randall Cobb. I mean, obviously, Witten is more of a name than in terms of, like, playing ability down, but they lose him as well.
We talked about the other teams, though, underneath, like, the Cowboys and the Colts. Yeah. There's not, like, a crazy argument that you're making against them, though.
That's the biggest thing. I think the Colts stay right where they're at, though, in terms of 13. I don't have them.
One of those teams are going to make, a few of those teams are going to make a jump somewhere or another. I don't know how.
Whether it's draft, trade, whatever. So that's how I look at it, man. But I didn't have a lot of big movements. I flirted with the idea of, like I said, flipping Packers and Titans. I flirted with the idea of Bills and Seahawks. But I'll tell you why I didn't make those moves. And I'll tell you why I did make the move in terms of putting Steelers at 9, Eagles at 10.
Yeah.
So that's how I looked at it. So
you like the list, then?
I do, man. But you know how it goes, man. I feel like I'm more in a line with how these guys think sometimes versus how you think sometimes.
It's fine. It's fine, man. Yeah.
So you had them at, Steelers at 4? No, Steelers at 5.
5.
And I Steelers at 9.
1 in my heart, though.
We ain't talking hard. Because for me, I'm like, I could be super biased and say Steelers are always number one. Steelers always the best team. Still should beat everybody by 50 if I wanted to go that route. But I'm like,
yeah, that's gonna get us nowhere.
Right. So I'm like, so if we really want to break it down and have an unbiased just conversation, like that's why I say the things I say and why I put them. Whereas you still haven't got there just yet. You haven't got to the unbiased part just yet. Like
I don't think I can.
When I get off the mic, it's easy for me to say, man, Steelers the best team ever. They're never going to lose. They're going to be there. They're going to score 100 points.
You don't even say that.
No points. Well, because for me, I'm still real. I'm realistic.
I know. I don't want you. I don't think anyone wants you to be that way. That's ridiculous.
But you be like that.
No, come on.
15-1, 16-0.
Come on, man.
15-1, 16-0.
15-1. Dude,
16-1.
I really felt good about last year.
All I'm saying is, how many times have the Steelers won 15 games? We had that conversation. How many times have the Steelers won 14 games?
It had that feel
We had that conversation. How many times have the Steelers won 13 games in the season?
I'm going off ebbs and flows. And
bro,
history,
it's not
man.
ebbs and flows.
It is.
You don't understand. It's not just, oh, they got the best team out there. They're going to beat everybody. It's not how that works, bro. It's not.
I get it. But
no, you don't.
I got to make a prediction.
And that's what I said, man. One of these days, I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to act like you on the mic. I'm going to just, the Steelers the best team ever. They're going to beat everybody. 100 to zip.
I never said any of that. Dude, I said 15-1 and I gave good reasons for it, I thought.
Nah. It's debatable.
I don't know, man. I thought Ben was motivated last year. I thought
you think he's motivated every year?
No. I thought Juju was going to make a step. I didn't think the offense was going to miss a beat. And I thought the defense, it was based off the signings of Mark Barron and then all the dudes just being young and getting better, Steven Nelson. I thought the defense was going to be better than any team that we've had in the past 5-6 years.
I agree.
That's what I remember. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. So
yeah, but even with all those things said, I'm like, bro, to just say that they're going to run off 14, 15 games, 15-1, bro, like, do you understand?
Cam and the Panthers did it.
Bro, like, I don't think you understand. And when did they do it again? Like, you know how
Listen, dude, sometimes you got to give bold takes. You got to give bold takes, man. That's all.
Like I said, I'm going to start bold taking it from here on out, bro. Hey, man. Steelers win the Super Bowl 16-0. Beating everybody by 50.
That's not fun, man.
That's bold. They got the best defense out. Nobody can score on them. Nobody can stop his offense.
That's not you, though. That's not you.
I like it, though.
All right.
I'm going with that. Undefeated. 100 points on it.
Dude, now I'm just going to be sitting here agreeing with you and stuff. I'll be like, yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, see, the fact that you agree with it, we just had to...
I'm not going to completely agree with it, but I'll be good with it. I'm not going to argue that.
No, man. You funny, bro. You are funny.
Dude, when you got to have a bold take, man. You got to come out swinging. That's all.
Oh, is that right? Who said that?
I do. I say that.
Why? Bold take, swing, and a miss? Like, what? Let's get on base first.
Nah, I'd rather go for the home run, man.
And just strike out.
That's what MLB's doing these days, too. People talk about that.
Here you go,
That's where the stats are. That's where the analytics are.
Analytics, bro, man. Come on, man. Hey, you got to shoot 3-pointers or layups. No twos. No long jumpers. I got it, man.
Am I the Rockets of sports fans?
Yeah, that's what you sound like right now, bro. Yeah.
Not going to be
either
really
3-pointers or layups, one or the other, man.
Not going to be really right in the long run, but going to have a lot of fun in the meantime and just stir the pot.
Yeah. Jeez.
That sounds about right, man. That sounds about right.
I like it, bro.
All right, so we want to get in these free agents.
Yeah, man. So you got anybody off the top of your head, man?
Yeah, so we're talking about the free agents that are left out there.
Yes.
And obviously,
just a good amount of guys, too. Like,
dude, crazy.
Whether they are former first round, top 10 picks, extremely talented guys, Super Bowl champs. I mean, it's a wide range, man.
And because we talked about the whole Jameson Cam thing, and the main question of the glaring issue is, all right, do we even have cap space to sign anyone? Even we're talking backup quarterbacks,
right.
But other positions. But you said we didn't know if we had the space to sign Ebron. Somehow we made it happen. So we're just going off of somehow we could make a move for one of these guys.
But we're not saying like ridiculous stuff like, oh, we're gonna get Clowney and pay him $15 a year. Like we not going down that path.
Somehow we can make a deal here for $2 or $3 or $4 million.
Right. That's what we're saying. Yeah.
For any of these guys. You know what, dude? I went through the list and I'm not feeling strongly about anyone, to be honest.
Ooh, okay.
There's some names.
I actually have 5 names on my list too.
No way.
I swear.
See, I got names I wrote down, but here's the thing. So Logan Ryan at quarterback or cornerback.
Yeah.
Peters on the offensive tackle. I don't think we need him that bad.
Well, and then too, man, because he plays what? No, he plays right tackle for them. No, he's been playing left. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, if we got rid of one of our tackles, then yeah, but it seems like we're good with who we have.
Well, and the thing is, he's a little long in the tooth, man.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah.
Demarius Randall, safety. Brashad Breeland, cornerback. Marcus Golden, 10 sacks. He's still on the market somehow.
Marcus, dude, man, he a dog. But the thing is, I think he's gonna price himself out, bro. Like
he wants too much.
Well, he's worth it though, man. Like he's a dude because they actually spent some time with him at AZ, but his rookie year he was a 10+ sack guy. Got hurt. Then we ended up getting together when I came out there my last year. He was still recovering and everything like that. Still produced when he came back out there. Left to go to the Giants on like a small term deal. Still got 10 sacks though for them. So it's like he's ready to get like compensated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anytime you're hitting that market after having multiple 10 sack seasons, you expect.
Why are these dudes still on the market?
Well, I told you, like that's the thing. It's some of the guys. So for example, say I'm a GM. I value you at 8 a year. You value you at 12 a year. So if I say to you, I'll give you 8 a year, you're like, bro, I'm cool on that. I'm not taking that because I want 12. Then you're like, I might come down to 10, but I want 12 or double digits, period. And I think it's only been, what, 2 weeks now? It's not even
feels like
2
forever,
weeks?
man.
It feels like forever, but like, and that's the thing, like, because I've had the opportunity, fortunately and unfortunately, to sign right away. And then I've had it where you had to wait 2 weeks. That 2 week mark for like 2 months. But realistically, it's only been 2 weeks. But for guys like that, you're kind of like...
How much of it's the coronavirus too, probably?
Well, I'm sure that plays into it. But typically the way it works, though, you'll have a number set for what you want to make per year. And then you throw that number out there in some of these negotiations. You'll get it back. Okay, boom, that's what they're saying. Then you'll say, well, you know what? I'm not signing that. I'd rather wait. Then you wait a couple of days and you say, okay, we'll drop it down 1 million or we'll drop it down 2 million. And then from there, okay, you throw the filler back out there. Okay, conversation. Oh, it's still not where you want. Some teams might bite them when you drop it down 2 million and now you're good. Some teams might say, no, I'm not about to sign that. Or they're waiting for the bigger name guy. So if you're Marcus Golden, you might be saying to yourself, I'd rather wait for Clowney to sign because once Clowney signs, now I know what the number is. Mm-hmm. So if Clowney signs for 15, well, now I can get 12 or even 11. If Clowney signs for 10, though, well, now I'm looking at 7 or 8, you know what I mean? Or even 6. But you gotta wait. And that's how it goes sometimes. Like you just like, all right, let me see what the big dude gonna sign for first, and then we'll go after that.
So yeah, so probably then not all these names that I'm saying here are gonna want that 2, 3, 4 million. I was just assuming that all right, they're available here for 2 weeks. Like the market's not gonna be that crazy, but it's not okay.
Game, yeah.
All right, Daryl Worley, cornerback. You need older guys: Jonathan Joseph, Tramon Williams, Brandon Carr, Prince Amukamara,
Prince,
Delaney Walker, tight end, Ezekiel Ansah, Everson Griffin still out there.
Zeke Ansah, man, he can ball.
So
he gets hurt a lot though, man.
Those were some names that just names that are in free agency that I just wanted to write down. I'm not really feeling that strongly about any of them, to be honest with you, because I don't know how much that's gonna hit into what we got to pay the rookies and it's going to screw us in the next 2 or 3 years.
I think a lot of those dudes that you named too, they're similar situations to Ebron. Might have had 1 or 2 years in the recent 2 years where like they balled out, but they've either been hurt or they had a down year, and you're 50-50 on them. If you sign them, you're going to praise them. Oh man, this is a great pickup.
Oh, definitely.
But if you don't sign me, like I ain't tripping on that. Like Ebron, for example. He signed with us. Oh, we love it. If he would have signed Baltimore, you would have been like, I ain't tripping.
No, I don't know. I felt really strongly about Ebron. I'll be honest.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't think we were going to get him. That's why we didn't really talk about him.
But I do know, like, not everybody is sold that Ebron is coming in here is going to be a flat out animal. That's all I'm simply saying, bro. In Pittsburgh, we err on the side of, hey, man, heck yeah, it's going to work.
Dude, see, I would have felt that, though. If the Bills would have signed, the Ravens would have signed, any good team that would have signed him, I would have felt that way. Okay. I feel that highly about Ebron. Okay, I don't know. I guess I've always felt that way ever since he was in college. I think I wanted him. That's maybe why.
That's okay. Maybe. Man, I look at full body of work, bro.
Because we were rolling with Heath, which nothing wrong with Heath, but I always wanted like an athletic tight end or someone with a big body for Ben to throw to. Whether it was, someone like Plexico Burress, and which we ended up getting in Martavis Bryant, but that didn't work out. So that's kind of how I always felt. Because we always had Hines and Santonio, Heath, not necessarily the fastest tight end.
Okay.
I wanted more flash, man. I wanted more flash. Okay. That's all.
And I can tell by them names. There's a lot of flash on them names, man. So the guys that I looked at.
But, dude, I don't really feel a certain way about getting any of these guys. What's crazy is some of those corners I named, and even like Marcel Darius, 30 years old, Joseph Williams, Carr, Mukamara, all these dudes are in their 30s. I'm getting old, man. Like, this is crazy. I'm getting old. Some of them are in their mid-30s. Like, I'm just like...
Well, yeah, I was waiting on you to drop a Frank Gore in there, man. When you scored on this list, I'm like, God, dog.
But, I mean, could Ansa... I mean, even Darius...
I would rather... This is the issue, man. With Marcel, he can ball, but he has to be motivated. And it's 50-50 which one you going to get with him. Like, I mean, obviously he was my teammate for multiple years. Then he went down to Jacksonville. And even the issues that he had with Doug Marrone, he still balls out when he wants to do it.
Like, that could be nice for us, right?
And he could, I mean, we played him as a nose tackle, and he legit, I think he did have 10 sacks. And it was like, this is nuts.
He did have 1 year with 10 sacks.
Yeah, that was him playing as like a nose tackle. We're like, this is insane, bro. Like, nose tackles don't get 10 sacks, bro. But like, he has that type of flexibility. Like, he is the Javon Hargrave as a first rounder, like a bigger body, more athletic. Like, that's what it is. And that's why he was drafted the way he was drafted and why he had the success that he had. But the problem is, number one, keeping him out of trouble, and number two, keeping him motivated. So that's why he's available right now. And that's kind of the things with him, man. He does have some off the field stuff that he deals with.
Got you. So what are you thinking then? What's your list?
So for me, man, I don't have any of those flashy type names. I looked at Nigel Bradham. He'll be 30 coming the season. He's a Super Bowl champ, obviously former teammate of mine, but he's a guy that brings speed and athletic ability to the linebacker position. When you're talking about Devin Bush with Vince Williams, Nigel Bradham is a way better athlete. Actually, a former teammate of Vince. They both played at Florida State together. But like, just a freaky athlete, man. Can play that position. And in the 3-4, which he's already played in before, he's already familiar with it. I think you pairing him up with the Devin Bush, he already has the Super Bowl pedigree, like I talked about, man. Like, I think that could be huge. I also looked at the guy, Aaron Lynch, 27 years old. He's a pass rusher. He's had success. He's played with the Niners, played with the Bears. 6'7" sack guy. So not a guy that's going to come in and take over and be a 20 sack guy, or excuse me, not 20, or even a 15 sack guy. But when you talk about having depth, you talk about having a piece that if something goes wrong, or you know how those guys still will rotate, talking about TJ and Bud when they get winded. He's a guy that can come in and has proven that he can play in the NFL and get out the quarterback. So I like that. And both of those guys, Nigel was on a nice contract with the Eagles, but he got released this offseason. So it's like, okay, that number is going to come down a lot then. Aaron Lynch, he's a guy, his number's not going to be high. Next guy on the list, if I look at Theo Riddick. Now, and here's why. I don't need Theo to be the main running back, but when you look at his receiving numbers, the dude has dumb numbers as a receiver, man, in terms of catching the ball at the backfield, and that's what he brings to the table. And what don't we have right now in our backfield? What don't we have in our backfield?
It's a good point, man. Now, but that's 29. The thing, dude. So,
because it's the thing.
It's tough for me because we have Connor, we have Snell, we have Samuel then. And I like those guys. But
Connor and Snell are what? Hammers.
I know, but I'm assuming we're drafting a running back early. That's the thing. Okay. So someone's going to be left out. Two players are going to be left out probably.
I understand. So what you assuming that we're drafting running back early, I think we're going best player available early. I don't think they say we got to go running back, or we got to go here, we got to go there. I think they're going to go, okay, who's the best player available right now? If it's a receiver, they'll go receiver. If it's a linebacker, they'll go linebacker. I don't think they're so bent on it has to be a running back. So that's why I'm operating with this mindset that, hey, if that's the case, you don't have to bring in a flashy pick. You just need somebody that fills a need. And what is the need right now? You need somebody that can catch the ball at the backfield, make a guy miss. That's what Theo
No, and I'm not against it either for a team standpoint. I guess it's just hard just because, you're emotionally attached to like Snow and Connor, and you want them to do good. But.
And the thing is, they still would be good. We're saying if we're going running back by committee approach, where James still being the feature of that committee, but not saying, James, we need you out here for 30 touches. If we're breaking this down, James, we want you to get 10 to 15 touches. But now we're going to bring in Benny Snell, who's going to get another 5 to 7 touches. Theo might get 2 to 3 touches out the backfield as a receiver type thing. Like, that's the lines I'm operating on.
Dude, it's actually a really good name.
Yeah.
I don't like him from a fantasy standpoint. He's always been a bust in my opinion. But
I don't like fantasy football, man, because when you look at his numbers, he can catch the ball at the back foot and produces in that regard.
That's why people always liked him. He's like this PPR sleeper. Yeah. I never bought into it, but all right, I like that point.
Yeah. Then I look at 2 receivers, man. Number 1 is Taylor Gabriel. Obviously,
really,
yeah, and because this is the thing, we don't need flash. We don't need splash. I'm not looking at, I need this guy to come in here and be the guy. I'm looking at a guy who can come in here and add to a receiving room and bring more depth, can make that room as a whole better. That's the way I operate, man, when I'm looking at how I'm trying to build up this team versus me saying, well, who's the biggest name out here as a receiver? Let's trade for AJ Green. Yeah, let's do that. No. Give me something that's low risk, high reward.
I like that too, but what I'm thinking is we have a bunch of small receivers though.
Okay.
And Taylor Gabriel's small.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking with that.
But I'm looking at it on the other side of, okay, AB was small. He still would ball out as a number 1, right? We probably had the league lead in terms of little number 1 receivers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like if you have quality players out there, I don't care how big or how small they are. That's the thing that makes Pittsburgh so appealing to players. Like what made it so appealing to me was they don't go the analytical route of he has to be a certain size to produce. It's like, no, we know what we're trying to build here. You think Debo was the prototypical size? No, Debo was crazily undersized, but he fit what they were trying to do here. Which is why you could bring in guys like that.
Well, I think the problem is I'm already thinking that Switz's spot's locked up somehow or some way. So that leaves maybe only 1 or 2 spots for other receivers.
Okay.
So that's all I'm thinking.
You know what they used to tell us, man, when we were playing these games in training camp, man, don't count the roster. That's what they would say.
Dude, but
because
I mean,
at the end of the day, the GM is going to make the decision. It's no different. We've seen teams carry 3 linebackers. We've seen teams carry 6 linebackers. We've seen it all, man. Don't count the roster, bro.
Listen, I mean, am I saying we should do that? Mm-hmm. No, but I mean, he's throwing footballs at Ben. Mm-hmm. I'm just assuming that. That's all.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, regardless if you assume it or not, if you bring in a guy like Taylor, that's competition to that room. And at the end of the day, what does competition do for that group? Make them better.
I'm good with it. I mean, if it happens,
You're good for competition anywhere except quarterback. That's why I left quarterbacks off my list, man, because I know how you feel. Competition in any spot, but
what QB were you gonna put on there?
I'm just saying, man. There's 2 quarterbacks that are available right now today, man.
I mean, we talked about this though.
Anybody that's not competition to your boy, man, it's all good.
Dude, he shouldn't have competition. It's ridiculous.
Jeez,
it's absurd, man.
Wow, players are better than no competition needed. Wow.
What?
Wow, that's interesting.
What do you mean?
You say he doesn't need competition. Wow.
Nah, man, it's just disrespectful. Like, come on, dude.
Fair enough.
Come on.
Fair enough.
You're not bringing in a quarterback for like Aaron Rodgers or Breeze for competition.
All I'm simply saying is you bring in a Cam or a Jameis as a low risk, high reward type signing. I'm not against it.
It's just gonna be hectic. I wouldn't.
We already talked about why you're nervous, man. We're not gonna go back down that line, man. We already and that's actually one of the times I did read the comments. So shout out to the comments on that one. You know, man, we understand, man. We got you, Deke. It's cool. The comments they saw it as well. So
some people agree with me, man,
but a lot of people didn't. So it's okay. It's cool. So I ain't tripping. All right, you good.
All right. So who else you got?
And then the last
I would like let me put it this way. I would like the Gabriel move if we made it. Yeah. But that's just my thought of, I guess, being a little cynical about it.
Yeah, I think for me, man, like those 4 are my favorite in terms of move, and I list them in the order that I would want them.
Okay.
I would want Nigel Bradham first, Aaron Lynch second, then Theo Riddick would be the 3rd guy on that priority list, Taylor Gabriel 4th, and then my 5th one, it was another one of those brings in depth, competition, low risk, high reward type player, and that's Russell Shepard, is another receiver.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't even know he was out there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, so
I would like that a lot.
Low risk, high reward. I mean, if he's healthy and he's good to go, great. But if he's not, it's not going to cost you a lot. He's shown that at times he can produce.
Yeah,
he's shown at times that he can't produce.
Yeah,
but either way, you bring him into that mix of receivers because right now, we are projecting what these guys are going to do in that room in terms of Juju, in terms of Deontay, in terms of James Washington, in terms of Switzer. But we haven't seen it just yet. Now, granted, we know there's other variables that played into that. But going forward, I'm in my mind, I'm like, man, I know every year you want to bring in competition. because that's going to make the players play their best. The worst teams I've been on are when you look at the roster and you're like, well, yeah, no, they ain't bringing nobody in here today. We're going to do what we do. We're straight. Like, nah. You got to bring somebody in to just really just spice it up a little bit. And that's going to make those guys have to elevate their play. And if they elevate their play, well, then it doesn't hurt because it's a low risk signing. It's not like you're going to give this dude a ton of money.
Bro, I would love that.
Risk.
I would love that receiver room if you added the two guys that you said. And it was Juju, James Washington, Deontay, Russell Shepard, and Taylor Gabriel. Dude, that's
saying, man.
We go 5 wide. That's looking nice.
Yeah.
Speed, combination of everything there. Juju in the slot.
Bro.
Wow, dude.
Tell you, we differ as GMs, man.
What?
We differ as GMs.
No, I like that. I mean, I just don't feel strongly about any.
I'm a brick by brick guy. You're like, just throw the whole thing right there, man. Just bah.
Yeah, no, I like those moves. I just didn't make a list. I didn't feel strongly about anyone. That's kind of all with me because if we're talking receivers, you know who I do want back. But
who? I don't know who you're talking about. Who?
Come on, dude.
Who?
Martavis, come on.
Oh, okay. I know which one you was going with, honestly.
You know,
never know with you sometimes.
I want Martavis back.
Okay.
But I've been checking the news here and there on him, and I haven't heard anything about a potential reinstatement. There's nothing really going on. So I'm not going to get my hopes too far
back
up
as
there.
the number one?
Huh?
Be our number one receiver?
Number one?
You know, they said, I mean, a quote was out there when Juju was drafted, he ain't here for my spot. He here for you, Sammy.
I forgot about that. That was funny.
Just wondering, man. So he coming to get what's his?
I mean, he could be the number one. I mean, he's that talented. We both know this, but years have gone by. I don't know how much he's working out.
He didn't do it in Oakland either, man. He struggled a little bit in Oakland.
I don't know if that's the best system, though.
I'm just simply saying.
Derek Carr's no Big Ben. They probably weren't setting him up for great opportunities. That's all.
I love when you make excuses, bro. You can pick you the excuse king. I don't care what no one say. Everybody talk about tight king. No, I don't want to hear about the tight king. Deke, you are the excuse king. You will excuse the heck out of any situation, bro. I love it. You one of a kind. One of a kind.
I just love to have Martavis back, dude. Imagine, come on,
dude. You don't have to sell it to me. I tell you, I was a part of that. That one, dude. That was my guy. Like, I loved it. We pull up like, oh, what we doing today? That's what we. Oh, I seen the hand between the legs, catch up on your butt, flip out the end zone like
dude, you're getting me hyped.
Oh, I seen that. I synced it. I seen him catching and put Pat Peterson on hamstring alert. Ooh, he shut him down. Ooh, he made that boy say, nah. I synced it. You know how they say, you said, I synced it. I synced it. Oh, you ain't got to sell it to me, man. I had the best seat in the house. Ooh. Ooh.
Martavis, if you're hearing this, please.
You already know how I feel about him, man.
Please come back. Martavis, Juju, Deontay, James Washington. What else we need? Ebron, Vance, McDonald.
I was say, you want to bring another one back too? While we? I'm just saying. Hey, I ain't going out there, man. Everything is about timing. Timing just isn't.
It is. I know. I well, with AB, yes, and probably Martavis, yes.
Timing isn't right now, man.
With who? AB or Martavis? Both.
I personally think with both, man.
Yeah. I just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say this too, man. And not saying that either one of those guys, more so talking about Martavis than AB right now, but it's hard to be the man, right? Because remember, for a while, like, even though we knew AB was the guy,
he could have been better than AB.
That was the talk. That would be the daily conversation. Like, AB would do something freaky, and it's like, no matter all this stuff AB does, Martavis can do this, and AB cannot do that. That's freaky. That's special. That's alien-like. It's hard to come back there, though, when, okay, I was supposed to be here. I didn't live up to that.
He'd come in as the third or fourth guy.
And that's different, man, because your expectation is, when I was here, I was being talked about like I was about to be the next dude in line. Like, I was supposed to have that next contract. Like, I was going to lead the way. And now you want to come here and be behind him, and technically Martavis could look and be saying, well, they still, I mean, his success wasn't like my success. He didn't do it like how I did it. that dynamic is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and when you talk about with Juju too, a big part of Martavis' departure was because of Juju coming in. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah. I guess the thing, like you said, is the 2 years removed from the NFL, and probably that mindset of I'm already better than any of these guys right now.
That's always your mindset.
But you're probably thinking from a team standpoint and coaching, man, you got to come in here and earn it and work. Like if you do come in here and work, like we know how good you are going to earn it. But how much is Martavis going to want to come in here and be the third or fourth guy just right off the bat?
There you go. It's difficult, man.
Come back, Martavis, please.
And I'm not saying that, like I said, I'm not saying that a guy can't like mentally do that. I'm just simply saying like that's a hard thing to do, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm definitely sure.
Yeah. And that's not even going to get into all the dissecting anything he says or does in terms of, do you got an issue with that guy? Right. What you saying about that? What does that mean? Were you happy about that? Are you happy that he's winning? What about that? Who? What? That? I'm just saying, man, it's a lot, dude.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm at with it. I like you. I actually like those top 5 that you brought up. I really do.
Yeah, man. It's just when I looked at those.
How about
guys
that? You had a top 5. I didn't have a top 5.
I know, man. And I was sitting here laughing to myself, like, dude, I never do this.
No, but that's a good top 5. Like that's a really good top 5.
I just tried to put on my Kevin Colbert hat.
Yeah.
I said, if I was Kevin Colbert, what would I do? What type of players would I be looking for right now? No splash signings, quality players. Yeah.
I like that.
Guys who fit a need.
Completely made sense.
Competition, low risk, high reward, pedigree. That was the thought process, man.
Completely made sense. Yeah, we got it all wrapped up here, though. Bro.
Yeah, man, that was fun, bro, man. Hey, I appreciate you, Deke, man. And shout out to you, man. You actually set up a little bit today, man. You
a few times.
Dude, man, you making me nervous. Don't let the people get to you.
No, hell no. No way, dude.
I want to say, don't have these people up here make you sit up in your chair, man.
No, it's just uncomfortable. My ass was starting to hurt, so I just had to maneuver here and there.
Fair enough.
So.
TMI, but fair enough.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm cool. I need to know all that, bro. But anywho, man, we appreciate it. And don't edit that out. Let that stay in there, too,
I'm not editing anything, man.
All right. But nah, man, we appreciate all the viewers first off and all the listeners, man. We appreciate both of y'all. Definitely means a lot to us, man. Yeah, and until next time.
Peace.